It is an 11 a.m. stream. We're going to be on all day today, guys. I think it's going to be a long day. I've prepared myself with cough drops. I got coffee. I got tea. The only thing I don't have is lunch lined up over here, but who knows? That might get delivered in. We got a good amount of guests that are going to be coming in every 30 minutes, and we're like going to hit it running. Okay. As a matter of fact, our first guest is on the line waiting to come in. We got who's going to be our first guest is Pastor David Azizian. He's the pastor of our church. After him, we got Ruslan coming in. We got Jeremy coming in. We got Tomek coming in. We got my buddy Emil coming in. We got our very friendly Pisabi upon him coming in. He's going to come and join us. And my wife is joining us. John Clash is joining us. I think Daryl might call in. Guys, Carl might call in. We'll open it up for you guys to call in as well. What are we going to be talking about is a really good question. I guess we'll be talking about a little bit of everything. Go ahead and drop your comments. Hit that like button. And we'll get going. So Ramadan Mubarak says, hi, how you doing? Alpha says, yesterday was Gary Kasparov's birthday. He turned 60. A very happy birthday to the chess master himself, Gary Kasparov. For those who don't know, Gary Kasparov is of Armenian origin. Carl saying, woot, congrats, Ape. Not Achbarig. Ape. Dudamus, what's up, brother? Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you very much for the big congratulations. Sasun's in the house. What's up, Sasun? How you doing? Thank you for the congrats. Again, Daryl's in the house. Jerome's in the house. He says, I know exactly none of these people who are in the stream. Well, Jerome, it's a good time to get to know them. So you can call in as well. Pastor David, what's up? Good morning.
Brother, how are you? Congratulations, man. So proud of all the things that are happening to you, your channel. I was trying to get a sweater. I didn't get it in time. I wanted to be bald, beautiful, and bald, biblical, and
bearded.
Bearded. I'm getting the bearded part and the biblical part, but man, I wanted to wear your face on my jacket, on my sweater. Maybe I could do that after a break or something. I'm so excited what God is doing through you,
Thanks.
through Apologia Center. This is awesome, man. This is a monument. We got to celebrate what God is doing here. Celebrate you, celebrate Apologia Center, and obviously the community needs this. It's shown through obviously all the followers. So I'm excited for you. Appreciate
it. Hey, Dave, thanks for, you've been such a big supporter of this ministry. And again, for folks to know that this ministry doesn't, it's not just a YouTube thing, right? Like, we're not just doing YouTube. YouTube is one of the things we do. Digital media is one of the things that we do. And you've promoted the ministry in various settings with various people. And I think there's more to come, obviously, there. And I appreciate your friendship and thank you for all of that, obviously. Don't be in a rush to get to the bald part. Okay. I should say that a good friend of ours and of mine has, I think, yesterday he told me this, I got to double check today, but he said, Art, I'm not very sure whether I would wear your face on my shirt.
I think that's a point we all share.
He's also not okay. So the bald folks actually are okay with it. I realized that there's some kind of a hatred towards folks who are not bald. There's a hatred from folks who are not bald towards folks who are bald. The bald folks are very supportive. They get the struggle. But my buddy said Again, we'll confirm this, but I think we might do a drawing from folks that are in here. We'll type their name in, we'll do a drawing, and then whoever gets picked will get a bald, bearded, and biblical shirt shipped to their house. So he's willing to pay for it. So we'll see.
I'll donate one as well, man. Let's go. Let's get some sweaters out there. Let's go.
Okay. So we'll see how this is going to go, guys. Bald shaming, Haraj says. It's bald shaming. It is.
We shouldn't be bald shaming at all.
Mr. Tom Cachaduri is in the house. What's up, Tom? We're going to have Tom call in later on. And then PT's in the house. What's up? There is a poll. What do you mean there's no poll? What? Hang on here. Wow. I put the poll.
What is it? What is the poll for, Arthur? What are you going to put the poll up for?
Oh, to hit the like button.
Oh, yeah. Get your likes on, man.
Whoa, look at that. Mr. Dunamis.
Wow, that is
our
awesome.
Powerful brother just dropped the 50, guys. He's
look at that.
He's a big supporter.
You can feel the love already in the room.
Oh, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I really do. Look, we should ask. So my buddy wanted to call in. He's like, "Can I share my screen?" This is our friend Khachik. And I said, "Why?"
You always got to be careful with Khachik.
I was like, "Yes, but why?" He goes, "I want to share some old photos." I was like, "No way, bro.
It's not happening."
I've known Khachik since we were 16, 17 years old. So if there's anybody that has like blackmail information on me and has photos of me just being stupid, Khachik probably has photos of me drunk.
You don't want that.
So yeah, like
TMZ is gonna be all over that.
Like, no, you cannot, Khach. I would have let anybody else share their screen, but you can't. But we'll see. I might have to screen it if he's gonna share it. You know, he has photos of me probably with hair.
Tread very carefully on that one, my friend.
Yeah. Look, let me ask you this. You've been pastoring at our church for the last 6 months, but you and I have known each other for 10 years plus now.
Yeah.
And in what way do you see, have you seen, at least in this ministry, apologetics be a tool, or at least you can even speak about the ministry and what we're doing, but why don't you share about that a little?
Just from seeing just lately, let me just share it lately, what you've been doing with tactics and what you've been doing through the ministry in the last 6 months. So many people have been so excited for this, and going with you to other churches, and as you share apologetics in your seminars, and you're sharing just what the nuts and bolts of apologetics, just seeing the influence you've made here on the men here, I've grown such an appreciation towards. I know this is going to be kind of like a fuller explanation, not kind of like zeroed in, but just seeing the people here, the quality, the education that you've helped them have with a deeper understanding of apologetics is just remarkable. And people wanting to know more of how to share the gospel, of just arguments, just being able to debunk arguments. It is so important, and it has been so instrumental here. And I see the legacy that you've already laid down here at Anchor. It is just, man, way to go. I'm just again, just in awe of what God is doing, and especially He's using you as a tool through apologetics. And it's sad though. Answering your question, just through my experience, it's sad to see pastors, elders, lay leaders, churches, or overall Christian community not have a good grasp on apologetics, and having a big lack. And that's why obviously now you're being, invited in to train, equip.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad to see the lack of that and not really been able to.
Yeah, I think the church is in major need. And it's not just, again, because of the way I view apologetics. I generally view apologetics as a worldview issue, right? Like, so you got to deal with different components. Like I've had conversations with pastors who've been in ministry for longer than maybe I've been alive. And there's some like ethical questions they've never considered, or worse than that, have given people bad ethical advice, not considering certain things that come with the Christian worldview.
Yeah.
They would have, like in this case, I'm thinking about they advised someone in a certain area. I don't want to get into the details, but
Sure.
What they didn't do is consider a number of things the Bible doesn't explicitly speak about, but it assumes. And when we're having this conversation, I could just like the guilt in this individual's face, where he was like, "Man, I should have known this. I should have thought about this." And because we when you talk about pastoral ministry, you're in a place that you are on a regular basis of advising people, and you have to have the correct resources and stuff to be able to advise them well.
Yeah, and I've noticed that, and you have to tread lightly. You got to be very careful with the advice you give. But I am under the teaching of, hey, you give biblical advice, you give well-sound advice. You try not to get too involved to the point where you're leaning towards one side or the other. You give the objective truth. You try best to give scriptural advice to people, and you say, Lord, that's your ministry, that's your work as a pastor. And we're just trying to honor that. And I've seen so many pastors get swayed one way or the other, and people get hurt, right? People get affected. People get, whether positively encourage and grow and mature and say, hey, that was a great pastor. That was a great word of advice to me. That was a building time. Or that was, hey, man, that was horrible. I see the bureaucracy in that. I see I see the tilt in that person's kind of, with the words that they're saying. And it's really important. It's really important that you stand on the word of God and give that kind of biblical, advice to people, whatever phase of life that they're in, whether it's marriage, whether it's disciplining them on sin, whether it's fellowship, situations, friends in the church having issues, one's being bitter and backbiting this other one and defaming them. You really need to approach it in a biblical way. And then men will appreciate it when you approach them as men being men and saying, hey, this is what a godly man stands for and lives, and this is how you should be. And that's the hard part, right? A lot of people in the church, they don't have fathers raising them. I know I didn't. So they don't know how to be a man. So when they come to Christ and they bring all that baggage. So yeah, it's so many things to kind of tackle in the church with so many people's background that they come in.
Correct. Just want to drop a couple of comments. Hey, we have our very own peace be upon him. He said, "Are you shipping the sweaters to the Iran? Are you shipping it to the Iran?" I'm afraid.
You gotta say it with accent, right, Arthur?
So I'm afraid that due to U.S. and Iranian relations, we will not be shipping any sweaters.
Oh, come on, man. We don't have no backdoor.
But if we really need to, what we can do, man, is I got people in Armenia who know people in Iran who, we can get it to Armenia and then they'll put it on a bus. They'll bring it to Iran. They'll call you. You can go pick it up. There is ways for me to get it to Iran. It'll take longer, but I know people who know people that know people. We can make it happen.
There we go. Let's make it happen.
Pisabi for you. I do it.
There we go. We're gonna make this happen.
Cassidy, thank you very much for the super chat. Awesome. Appreciate it. And that's in euros.
That's in euros. Let's go.
We are international, ladies and gentlemen. We are international.
Mr. International.
Carl says it's because of the school system that has neglected philosophy and logical truths. That is true, and that is also true of seminaries. It really is. That it's not an exception because something is a Christian school or a school is a Christian school or something that somehow they're going to have this crazy emphasis on philosophy and logic and stuff like that. Most schools that I know, as a matter of fact, a very, very big school that got in trouble for this, sort of lots of complaints, but I don't think anybody think was done, was Liberty, which is one of the largest Christian schools in the nation. They were doing some cuts, financial cuts, and the first thing that went out the window was their philosophy department. They got rid of a bunch of philosophy professors, and then what they did is they combined the philosophy department with another department, and it was just like, what are you guys doing? Like, why would it have to be the philosophy department that gets going, you know? But yeah, that's true.
That a lot. Even here in our hometown, we're seeing that a lot with a lot of these schools because of low admissions or whatever that is, and they're starting to cut staff and really biblical and great staff, God-centered staff that are, it's really tough. It's really tough what the education systems are doing.
Sapere Audio says, people don't know how to be a man. No, it's not that people don't know how to be a man. Men don't know how to be men. Because, you get, but look, what I thought you were just born a male and then grow up, and that's what a man is. I think you gotta hang out with us a little bit, and I you know what we mean. You know exactly what we mean. But the reality is that one of the issues that we've seen in ministry is a lot of guys, we want to say males, a lot of men who grow up without having the right influences, without having either fathers present or absentee fathers or something like that, who actually do not know what is required of them when it comes to being a man, the responsibilities that comes with being a man. I'd say the same thing with women in regards to the responsibilities that comes to being a woman. What it takes to, let's say what it takes to manage a household, how to raise children. And this goes for both male and female, by the way. What I'm saying here is not necessarily like women raise the children. I'm actually very much against that idea. But very, very basic things. Learning how to deal with finances, leading and guiding and serving your family well. Like, these are the sorts of things that many of us didn't have the correct role models, and we kind of messed around and figured it out and have made mistakes. And it's extremely necessary. And we see quite a bit of that in the church because churches tend to be communal. And so the lack really shows. And we see it, maybe, I don't want to say on the tail end of that, but we see it when people do get married and then all the chaos comes to the surface, becomes an issue.
Yeah, definitely. I was talking to you about that last night after our Bible study. I was listening to a broadcast yesterday morning as I was coming to work, and one of the people on the show was talking about, one of the hosts was talking about how, when I come home, are my kids scared? When I come home, are my kids joyful? Right? When I come home, what is the response? And I had a hard time kind of answering that one. Because with my background, I didn't have a dad growing up. I knew what not to be like, right? An absentee dad, but I didn't know what a biblical father looks like in the home. And I started asking myself that question, man. Like, what does that look like, right? What am I showing to my kids? What am I modeling? How am I being received? And it's a good thing to kind of maybe a good test is when you enter that door, when your keys start jingling and you start to open the lock of the door to your home. Are your kids running to you, right? Are your kids like, Daddy, I know that kind of differs with age, right? If you have you have a 1 to 10-year-old or something like that. Once they're teenagers, they're just like, hey, Dad, can I get some money? But what is that relationship? What have you set for yourself? What have you modeled? And then what is the response you're getting back from your kids? And it's hard as a biblical father, right? You got to stand for the truth. I got my kid every single day saying, Dad, can I go to Magic Mountain with my friends? Dad, can I go to the mall with my friends? Dad, can I get a phone? I had a father telling me yesterday at the school that my daughter goes to, it's a Christian school, and he was like, "Hey, Pastor, I want to know your thoughts about cell phones and kids. You know, should my teenager, my freshman in high school, have a cell phone?" I'm like, "Well, mine doesn't, and she plays sports and all kinds of other things." And it's not that we're being controlling. It just, are you equipped for that as a parent? Second, is a kid equipped? You know, and third, you know, here comes the storm. I mean, you're just going to have so many things come your way.
Yeah, and you got to be prepared for that.
Yeah,
It seems some of you guys tend to want to have a debate on this subject. I'm down for all day, but Harat says, but Arthur is sending a boatload of them to Ukraine for free.
To Ukraine? No, that's Biden, my friend. That is Biden.
We know what this guy's political views are. That seems like such an incredibly hefty claim, though, required of them. Things like what? Look, this is a worldview issue. I mean, as Bible-believing Christians, we think that there are gender roles. We think that men and women, though ontologically created equal, if you want to break down the philosophical concept, they are, though they are both in the image of God and created equal, they have different roles, especially when it comes to the household. So it's not just men and women in general in society, but we would specifically speak about this in the case of husbands and wives have different roles. I am not a mother, neither do I want to be one, nor do I think God has called me to be a mother. I think some of this stuff is obviously built into our biology. Some of it has to do with the way we're just like made. Some of it might be cultural. I have no issues with saying I'll give you an example. As an Armenian man, I prefer that my wife cooks.
Yeah,
that's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's a cultural thing. Like one of the things that bugs me is, say, when I see Americans whose wives do not know how to cook, nor do they cook. It bugs me. I don't like it. But look, I would say that's more of a cultural sort of thing.
Sure.
I don't think that's like a requirement on wives from God. I wouldn't quote a Bible verse saying, "Hey, you need to cook," or something like that, right? But in regards to being a mother, whatever it takes to be a mom, whatever it takes to be a dad, yeah, I think those things are definitely biblically asked for us, so therefore they're required of us. And not a lot of people just don't know what that looks like. And I would just put this generally in the category of responsibility, right? Being a responsible father, being a responsible parent, being a responsible mother. And if somebody doesn't think our society has these issues, you're living under a rock, in my opinion.
I think you would agree too. That's all also relevant if the wife is working, right, and then also having to come home. So
Correct.
I know.
Your wife works. Your wife works. My wife works. Yeah.
Yep.
So just before anybody comes in there and says, "Look at these chauvinist guys sitting there, they're oppressing their wives and stuff like that." My wife's gonna come on later on. We're gonna have a conversation. You guys can ask her whether I'm a chauvinist or not.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to applaud. Where is this? I got a nice crowd cheer here. For our buddy Sapere Aude, he says, "My little ones love it when I come home from work." Pretty proud of that. You should be.
Awesome.
You should be. That means your children love you. Among a lot of the things, I obviously agree with Jordan Peterson. There's some things I disagree with him, obviously. But one of the things is that he says essentially raise children that you will not hate. And I would reverse that by saying that they will not hate you. Right? A lot of folks raise kids, and then their kids end up resenting their parents for decisions their parents made. And Dave, I mean, we openly speak about this stuff. We also see this in ministry quite a bit, where pastors' children will grow up resenting their fathers, but also resenting the church, and maybe even God by extension. Because a lot of pastors, I think, this is a critique on the church, a lot of pastors will neglect their own families, especially their children, for the church.
Sure. Yeah.
We've seen that.
A lot. Yeah, that's my number one prayer request to the Lord. I mean, obviously, it's that my children love the Lord and serve Him and give their lives to Him, but also at the same time, 1B is that I don't want them to resent the church, the ministry, resent me, my work. I mean, I got to view that as, hey, you know, every single night that I get that I don't have a ministry night, I'm with them, right? I'm just there, engaged, taking them out, and that's important. You can't keep on justifying, hey, this is ministry, and then all of a sudden, you know, try to win your church over and yet lose your family. I think that disqualifies you as a pastor. But then again, a lot of churches are not bold enough to tell their pastor no.
Well, there is a certain kind of statement, obviously, about eldership and what disqualifies and qualifies elders, right? And one of them has to do with the way their kids are acting. And again, we can have all sorts of discussions on when a kid is a kid, whether we're going to consider a 16, 17-year-old a kid or not. I'd say definitely you can consider, like, if you got a 5-year-old that's completely and utterly out of control and you just cannot manage them, Scripture says that if you can't manage your own household, how can you manage the household of God? Because this is something that you're giving, when you become an elder or deacon in the church, you're taking responsibility over something that belongs to someone else, namely God. And so you're managing it. Your role is a manager role. It's not an ownership role. Too many pastors act like they own this stuff. And the reality is like, no, you're a manager. And that's pretty Old Testament-y in ideology, because it's the land is owned by God. When you look at the Old Testament, the land is owned by the Jesus. The land is owned by God, and then the Israelites get to use the land, and whenever they don't actually behave and act according to the way God wants them to live and behave, then he says, you can't live here anymore. And the way that Scripture puts it is that it vomits them out. Let me make a little, so our very good friend Khachik, it says, congrats on hitting another milestone, 5K next. Bring it on. We're already on our way there. We're already on our way there.
Let's go.
We are at, let me give a live countdown here. We're at 40. We are at 4,048. Maybe by the end of the stream, we'll get 2 more and hit 50. A nice even number, 4,050. But thank you. Hey, is that offer still on the table, Khachik? Is that offer you made yesterday in regards to getting 2 of the hoodies for us to ship? I have a look. I even have this thing pulled up. Hang on, let me see. Check that out. We can hit it. We can put all the names in here, and then we do that, and then it lands on the name, and bam, then there's a winner. So I'm ready to go, Khach. If you are, I don't know where those claps came from. If you're, oh, it came from there. If you're ready to go, then let me know, and then we'll do a drawing.
Got the wheel.
Yeah, we got
Apologia Center.
we got the wheel. And then we'll put whoever's in the chat at the time we're doing it, we'll put their names in there and then spin it and then see what happens. And then maybe we'll have a poll whether we should have Khachik on. And
I think you should have a poll. Ask the people if they want to have.
Ask the people if we should have Khachik on, and whether we should give him the ability to share his screen.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and feel like the people are gonna say yes because they want all things embarrassment apart.
they want right? the dirty past. I trust Khachik that he won't embarrass me too much.
Then you give him way too much credit than what he deserves, my friend.
He's one of my oldest friends. This is a guy that I know would take a bullet for me, and I will take a bullet for him.
But those are the guys that are gonna take a bullet, but yet you know what they're gonna.
Yeah, the thing is that I've known Khachik pre-Christ.
Yes.
And then post Christ, and we've both become Christians, and so we've done all sorts of
buffoonery together,
shenanigans together,
and now ministry. Praise God.
And and so it's awesome. God is good, guys. God is good.
Amen. All the time.
4,000 big ones. You should go to Disneyland.
Oh,
guess what? I'm going to Disneyland on Tuesday.
Arthur, you just hit 4,000 subscribers. Where are you going next?
No, I'm seriously going to Disneyland on Tuesday. I really am. So it's funny, we've had it in the plans for like I don't know, a month and something for my family and my brother's family to take the kids to Disneyland because it was all their birthdays. It's all around the same time. So we're actually we will be at Disneyland on the 18th. By the way, the 18th is tax day, ladies and gentlemen. That's a reminder. Nice. Get
While
get your extensions.
You'll be enjoying Disneyland.
So Khachik says, yes, of course, but I only provide the money. You have to do the heavy lifting. I'll take care of the heavy lifting, which is literally no lifting at all. I'll put an address and ship it their way. So, bro has all the streamer equipment. He's got a wheel now. Yes, it literally was a Google search. And then it just came up. It was the first link that popped up and I hit it. So much work, guys. So much work. Daryl says, I use that for work. John Adams is in the house. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Doesn't scripture say use the rod? I expect I misunderstand that or something. Yes, it does say use the rod, meaning that physical discipline is a thing. I should say typically sometimes there's this thing of like immediately physical discipline. I'm actually not against physical discipline, but this is going to get bad probably. But not every child needs that. There's children that you can just very sternly speak to and explain things. But if somebody's going to sit there and say, well, you can just explain things to all kids, then you probably have never met an Armenian child.
Or maybe you haven't had a strong-willed child, right?
Very, yeah. My oldest brother,
yeah.
My oldest brother actually thinks that there's a genetic difference between Armenians when it comes to some. And I mean, I don't know whether I agree with him or not, but when I don't know, it's weird. It's weird. In my general understanding, like even from a very, very young age, Armenian kids are a lot more aggressive.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So
yeah.
Notice this statement. He said, I'm against physical discipline in almost all cases. I love how you leave just a little bit of room there. I'm cool with that, bro, by the way. I don't think this is a Christian, by the way, I don't think this is a thing that like all Christians need to agree on. There are some Christians who would say, no, I don't think that we need physical discipline. And then they'll look at those Bible passages maybe in an alternative way. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important to discipline your children, and especially if you need to spank.
How long are you going to Disneyland for? So Disneyland is fairly close to where we live.
Yeah, it's about an hour south.
We got about an hour drive. So I don't need to go and spend 3 days there. I would never want to do something like that. That's probably like, I'm not a big fan of Disneyland. I should say I'm going for the kids. That's the only.
But
if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see posts.
You're not making a shirt and saying we're a Disney family and you have a bumper sticker and follow me to Disneyland. You're not one of those families, are you?
No.
Okay.
No.
What is your favorite Disneyland character, Arthur? Who do you
like? Disney character?
Yeah, who's your favorite Disney character?
My favorite Disney character would have to be Darth Vader. Now that Disney owns it. Yeah. No, now that Disney owns it.
My favorite is Donald Duck, and I
Donald Duck is cool. Yeah, I like Donald Duck. Yeah, but I'm just not really into that sort of stuff. Nuance is in fact important. That's correct. So, okay, this is interesting. I had some fairly harsh physical discipline myself growing up. Not going to go into details, but I wouldn't ever do that to my kids. Correct. A lot of us, I think, were physically beaten. We weren't disciplined. To a certain extent, I was beaten. Now, I know one of the times I probably deserved it because I almost made this kid go. No, seriously, I almost took out someone's eye. In all seriousness, the guy could have potentially gone blind. Gave him a big giant cut right above his eye over here like that. This is when I was like 9 years old. Really bad. Another time I deserved it as well because I confessing all sorts of stuff here. I got in a fight. I got in a fight and I used the pen to put 4 holes in the back of someone. So, okay, before Jesus kind of conversations. So yeah, I mean, physical discipline in those cases I think was necessary. By the way, Dave, we're probably gonna have to drop you in 2 minutes because we got the man, the myth, the legend. I'm waiting for confirmation from him. We got Mr. Ruslan KD, who's gonna be joining us. But just hang in there until I'll call it.
No, talking about like punishment, this or that, and this kind of discipline. I think it's so important to talk to children, to speak to them, and to do it while you're not angry and upset, because that would lead to the beatings that you just kind of shared about. But to really speak to them, and then to have a method of spanking, and then to really just help them to understand and that you're doing that because discipline is good and that you love them, and that is the hardest thing. And then to hug them afterwards, and then to either put them in timeout in the corner and things of that sort. But I just think it's been modeled so incorrectly that so many people are like, no, I'll never do that, and I'll just talk to them. And that's so hard. It's just so hard to model something like that, and not knowing if it's never been done correctly. Of course, then you're just gonna say, no, I don't want to ever discipline you. Do it.
Tom says my wife loves Disneyland more than she loves me. I highly doubt that.
I think that's a very bold statement, but I think I agree. No,
she's not in the chat. That's why he's saying stuff like that. Mr. Pisabi says, I have Armani friends in Iran. These are Armenian friends. Ermeni. I have Ermeni friends in Iran. They are number 1 in ping pong.
Yes. What is up with people from Iran and like just having, is that the national sport to play ping pong?
Dude, my mom, my mom can play ping pong, and she grew up in Iran.
My mom can't play ping pong, and she grew up in
bosses
Iraq.
She bosses it. Even at her age, she kills it in ping pong. She got these crazy spins.
So is your mom a better ping pong player than you?
She's beat me. I've beat her. The only reason I would say I beat her is because I'm just quicker. She's a little old lady that has a hard time. She has really short hands as well, so she can't reach over. So I have physical advantages, but she's a really good ping pong player. I mean, some of the spins she puts, if she gets that spin on there's no way I'm returning that.
I've gotten to know your mom really well, man, and you're a carbon copy of your mom, and she's just a delight. She's an amazing woman.
Thank you. Armenians have jigab. That seems to be lacking among Spitaks.
All right, I gotta play you a ping pong, man. I didn't know you were good.
I'll rock you.
We got to get a ping pong table here at church.
I have one.
You have one? I've been at your house many times. I've never seen it. Right,
so there's an outdoor ping pong table that needs to go to the church. You don't know about this, but there's an outdoor ping pong table that needs to go to the church that's been sitting at my house. You got a truck. Come pick it up.
Let's go. All right. On your 4K, maybe we do like a ping pong match here with me, you.
And then stream it. Sacco's the best.
Really? Man, is there anything that Sacco doesn't do?
Sacco beat Clint Arnold in ping pong at Talbot.
Wow.
And took the championship.
I remember that. Yes. He was sharing that. Can you imagine beating the dean of your seminary and automatically all right, you're suspended from school. You no longer can come here.
You beat the school's dean. So you get an
awesome.
F.
That is awesome.
This is hilarious. I thought it was about using a rod like a shepherd uses it to guide the flock, not to be hit, but still. Yeah, I mean, generally there is the rod and staff, by the way, are two different things when it comes to shepherding, and one of them has to do with pulling them into the right direction with the little hook thing. That's the imagery there.
Sure.
We don't drink Bud Light, bro. What is that? It has the word light in it.
I don't like beer whatsoever, so I don't drink any beer. So bitter.
My mom slapped me once when I was 10. I never forgot it, and appreciate her discipline in the moment because I never disrespected her like that again. That must have been a serious disrespect.
Talking about a slap, my youth pastor slapped me once in the middle of worship when I was messing around because I was just a fidgety little kid, and man, he smacked me so hard I lost hearing in my left ear, and I remember never
No
again
names. No
disrespecting.
names.
No, I won't use any names, but he's a legend, and I love him like a father. And I remember when he did that, man, I just was like, wow, I guess I crossed the line. I really was really pushing his buttons, and man, till this day, he has been so instrumental in my life. He's like a father. So
Dude,
I love
youth
him.
ministry is nuts. I had a kid step up to me at a camp retreat one time because
Wow.
he wasn't really a believer, and he thought he could just step to me because I'm a Christian and I love Jesus.
Sure,
And he
sure. You
straight
want to
up
say I
like
want to
he
get away
squared
with?
up to me. He squared up to
Uh
me.
oh.
He squared up to me like he wanted to fight.
Uh oh.
And
Don't do
and
that.
and I grabbed him from the collar here, like
Uh
that,
oh.
and I took him a little back, and I put him against the cabin, and I said, "Don't ever square up to me. I'll knock you out."
Oh man.
Bro,
You know what
you got to
though?
realize, man, the youth we're dealing with, bro,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
the hood,
Definitely.
man.
Definitely.
Like some of you guys are like
Man.
standing there, they're like, by the way, that's like our relationship went
Right.
became a lot
Right.
better than that.
Right.
Like what it was. It's so, but again, these are kids that are coming off the streets, man. They're involved in gangs and stuff like that, and they think they can just punk you around. And
Yeah, I think that's really important that you help them understand and define key roles
yeah,
and relationships
it's
and
like,
say, hey,
dude,
you
don't
can't
square up
cross
to me like
this.
that.
Yeah, yeah. Because if they see that they won't even respect you actually as a man, right? They would be like, hey, this guy is not even, and they'll just think you're a doormat, but
Yeah,
nicely and respectfully, and also not allowing
yeah.
them to get away with that, but also at the same time not crossing the line against them as well. Say, hey, man, I respect you and I love you, but don't
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
you ever.
look, man, I remember a buddy of mine who was doing street ministry where some guy was trying to punk him and stuff like that quite a bit and got really annoying. He was like messing around with signs and stuff. And the guy pulled him aside and said, hey, listen, man, you know what the Bible says? The Bible says the Lord trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle. The guy calmed down real
He
quick.
got the point real
Real
quick. Huh?
quick. He calmed down real quick.
Got the point. Oh man.
Oh, man. Khachik, I'm not even going to comment on that. How's some random adult hitting you? Well, it's not just random adult. Here's the thing that you guys don't catch.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
these
there's
aren't
so
random
much
people, man.
of a
These are people
relationship.
who are so involved in each other's lives that there's a completely
Yeah,
different kind
my
of
youth
concept
pastor
there.
is like my father, man. He was under my roof eating meals. I was under his roof eating meals. He was literally my father figure growing up.
Did he
And,
do the like Armenian slap, like on the
oh
top
man,
of the
it
head?
was such a slap,
He
man.
was like, shut it, get a hold of
Yeah,
yourself, man.
I think there's a backstory behind that. I was one of those tough youth kids, and it was just one of those youth group nights. I think I was kind of like on a legendary kind of role of, hey, just not listening, and he's had enough, and it was worship time, and let's just say I was taking time away from God, and yeah, he came on over and gave me a nice chillip, like right on my face, along, and my neck went like this, so like, I mean, you know what though, like, I don't know. I don't know. He didn't talk to me about it afterwards. He didn't need to. I got it,
Got it.
and trust me. After that day, I was like, all right. When worship starts,
But
I'm
you
gonna be the
look, like
first one to
people got to
sit
know,
down
people
and
got to know
respect.
background and all that stuff, right?
Yeah,
They got to know like you're a tough kid,
yeah,
football
yeah.
player,
Yeah,
athlete, like you were doing hoodlum things.
yeah,
Um,
for sure, for sure. And my mom, by the way, though, went to that youth pastor and told him, hey, anything
th-
you
thank
discipline.
you. Thank you. He needs that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My mom went there and said, if he ever disrespects you, you
Yeah.
put him in your place. If he ever talks back to you, you put him in your place. You have all rights as like a father figure to do anything you would like, pastor. And hey, if anyone had the right, it was him. Not my teachers, not my principals at school, but my youth pastor, because he was allowed to,
Yeah.
in within limits, right? Within limits.
Dave,
And
here's something
yeah,
that's really interesting that this conversation brings to the surface. Is especially Jerome's making this comment. He says, "No, it is random for sure. I don't care who you are. I can barely entertain the idea of your parents doing it, but this is some church authority. That's hilarious." I wonder if there's a component to what a church looks like within an Armenian context and what church looks like within a non-Armenian context. Because we tend to be so communal, we tend to be involved in each other's lives so much. We like the fact that like we call, like the other day I was actually, when we were at my brother's house, you called my mom. And I was kind of joking with you, and I was like, she's my mom, stop calling my mom.
Man, I was hanging out with Arthur's family on Easter Sunday. Man, that shows you of the connections people make so quickly.
I appreciate that. That's the thing. It's like that I would call a random grandpa on the street that I don't know. It's some random Armenian older man that I would actually call him grandpa, like my grandpa. Or older women or men, we call them aunts and uncles, right? We call them Hobart, Horkur, Morkur, Kerry, where like these are immediately like familial terminology where it maybe just maybe makes it a bit difficult for other folks to kind of pick up on. It's like the kind of closeness we could have.
My mom instilled that in me at a real young age, Arthur. A lot of people, even Armenians, go, Dave, why do you call, your mother-in-law mom and your father-in-law pop? I just do. I cannot ever call anyone by their first name that's older than me and elderly. And I just need to, like you were saying, it's such a familial type of bond. Unless that's what they come up to me and request that and want that and seek that and say, hey, you can call me Shushig or you can call me, such and such. So I'll say, sure, but I can never do that. I just feel like I'm disrespecting such as. And then also at the same time, I realize the friendship and relationships I have made with people and how I can just get so close to people because of they love the respect and the honor I give to them.
Dude, there's people around the church that still call me pastor, and they're like 40 years older than me, and I told them 1,000 times, don't call me pastor. And it's just like this sign of authority. Right, like one of them who's like way older than me refers to my mom as like the translated mother of the elder.
Mother of all mothers.
Mother of the elder. That's what he calls my mom. It's just weird, right? Like, again, I think to a certain extent, there's a cultural aspect here. By the way, Buck, I'm not for like systematic sort of stuff like that with the way like nuns hitting you with rulers and stuff like that. That's not what we're talking about. I've ignored my very good friend Harut Kokoshian here. He said, I don't mind the light. I don't care much for the bud.
Okay, Harut.
One time after my dad dropped me off for camp, he told my youth pastor if I act up, that he should not hesitate to give me a slap across the head.
See?
That is that's very Armenian.
Yep.
That is very Armenian. This guy acts up.
Many parents tell me that. Hey, go ahead and discipline my child if they are disrespectful. See, it's not only, I want you to know something. It's not only the kid making a random action of disrespect to the pastor or anything like that. It's they're bringing a bad name to their family. That's how our culture receives it and views that. So they're essentially saying, if my kid brings a bad name to my last name and a bad reputation to my life, I want you to stop that. So that's essentially what they're saying.
Hey, Dave, we got Ruslan waiting on the line.
All right,
thanks for calling in.
God bless you.
Appreciate it.
So proud of you, man.
Thank you.
This is just amazing what God is doing. Keep up the good work. I love you, man, and I can't wait to see 5,000.
I love you too. So these are two men telling each other they love each other, just in case anybody gets like you can do that. You can do that. Yes. By the way, my mentor, the first time my mentor told me, Ariel, he said, hey, I love you. And then I was like, love you too. He's like, what the heck is that? He's like, that's not personal. You got to say, I love you too. I was like, cool. Got it.
That's a perfect Ariel say. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
So, okay, bro. Thank you.
God bless you, bro.
Take care. Hey, man, moving from one Armenian guy to another Armenian guy. Ruslan, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Love you too, man. Love you too.
Hey, I know you got a jam-packed day today.
Correct.
And
But I'm here for you because I love you, bro.
Oh, thank you, man. I love you too. There's like serious bromance stuff going on here. Ruslan, so we're just talking about different stuff, but specifically with you. First of all, I mean, we're celebrating that we hit 4K. You know how hard that is because you've been doing this YouTube thing for a long time. People might look at you and they go, man, Ruslan, he's so successful. He's look at his YouTube channel. He's got multiple YouTube channels. They're booming. They're doing really good. They don't realize how much work actually goes into that, first and foremost. How much grind goes into it. And so maybe you can give folks a little bit of advice. I know you've spoken about this on your channel and stuff, but some advice, and then I want to ask you some personal questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything worth having is going to be difficult, and it's going to be challenging, whether that's getting fit, whether that's having a great marriage, whether that's having awesome kids and being a good father, whether that's building a business, building a YouTube business. Anything worth having is going to be difficult. And I think people know that in the abstract sense, but I don't think people really understand what that means. But I think once you get over the hurdle of that reality, then it becomes about building in systems to make the resistance of change that compounds over time easier. So if you want to work on your marriage, you do a date night, and you consistently have a date night, and you consistently have someone watch your kids at the same time, or if you don't have kids. And so like that date night over years compounds. It's no different with content. It's no different with, hey, if I want to be plugged into a local community, I got to keep going to the local church every Sunday. I need to give a small group. And so YouTube just becomes the same. If I want to make YouTube videos, I got to create an environment for myself. It's going to tip the scales in my favor so that I can consistently not just make videos, but actually publish videos with a title and a thumbnail and an interesting topic that people care about consistently over a long enough time horizon where it becomes unreasonable for someone not to be successful. So if I want to have a great marriage and I consistently go on date nights and I consistently love my wife the way Christ loved the church over a long enough time horizon, it's unreasonable for me not to have a great marriage if I just do the thing and make it easy for me to do the thing. So I don't have to think about every time, where am I going to go to date night? When am I going to do date night? Oh, I want to do date night on Tuesday, but now it's Wednesday. We haven't gotten to, right? But if you just streamline things. And so that's what I've really been able to do. And that's kind of my hack, if you will, with YouTube, is that it's just all streamlined. We make it as easy as possible. I sat down here a few minutes before I went live with you. We just make it as simple as possible to make as much content as possible around as many things that people care about as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really good. But again, it's a lot of work because you got to learn things, right? Like you got to, if you don't know editing, you got to learn editing. It's like, well, I don't have enough money to go and hire an editor. So guess what? You're going to learn it. But I love how you said, hey, it's just like anything else you're going to do in life. You're going to start a business. You're going to learn a lot of different stuff, right? If you start a small business, you're probably going to be wearing a bunch of hats. You'll be the janitor most likely till you get one. And you're financially stable to do X, Y, and Z. I got a personal question. There's a lot of people on my channel that have come over to my channel from your channel, or that have seen me on your channel, like they got exposed to me on your channel, and then they've become really
I've never made any
community.
I've never made any Arthur exposed videos, just for the record. Those I haven't made those about.
Oh man. Go for it, bro. That's it's like it's a bad advertisement is a good advertisement, right? Like Arthur exposed. There was that documentary that one guy did for you on you. That was pretty good. I watched that.
That was like, super cool. Yeah, shout out to the Snipe Life.
Yeah, and he found some yearbook pictures of you.
Crazy.
That was insane. So I appreciate that, but this goes a little bit to your personality and your character that I've noticed is that you're just a naturally encouraging sort of guy.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if that's like, the whole like love language thing. Like I like encouragement, because I really don't. I actually get uncomfortable when people like encourage me, like they say like good things. I'm like, I have an abundance mindset that I think there is, because of where we live and when we live, I think there's more than enough to go around. And I think this platform or online content in general, like I just see it potentially changing the world, man. Like, and I don't mean in like a, you know, in a goofy way, like we are the world. Like, I mean like people getting exposed to the gospel and then the implications of the gospel on our day-to-day lives. And then that the compounding effect of that, not over months and days and views and clout, but like over decades. And I just think the more people we have on these platforms, the more Christians, followers of Jesus that we have on these platforms, the better. And so like they might come to me for a specific reason, but then they might discover you through my channel. And then as your channel is growing, they're going to get some other value from you. Like I don't need to be a one-stop shop for everything, right? And so they're maybe learning a bit more philosophy from you, a little bit more church history, a little bit more, I don't know, apologetics. And that it becomes another lock in their chain of resources to help them become who God's called them to be. And the implications of that, again, over a decade, if there's 1,000 of us, right? All various platforms, all various niches, but there's 1,000 of us here making stuff that's a net positive, that's going to encourage and equip people. I just don't see how that doesn't radically transform communities and potentially countries and the world.
You know, that again, I don't know whether this is a thing that our generation has become better at doing, maybe, or we're more open to doing it, because what I've seen is previous generations where folks were doing things separate from each other. Everybody had their own domain. They were kind of functioning. And sometimes there'd be these crossovers where like I've seen nothing but support from Christians who are doing various sorts of things, especially within the YouTube space.
Yeah.
Even if that's been like a word of encouragement. Like I remember hanging out with David Wood and Mike Winger and John McRae and Vocab Malone. Like Vocab came on my channel when I had like 150 subscribers, dude. Right. And just like, hey, do this, do that, try this. I remember when I put up a thumbnail and you sent me a text and you were like, bro, change your thumbnails. Make your and it was like it was like so fun. I think it was an Andrew Tate video I did, and then I had like my head and their heads, and then you're like, the heads are too small. So I was literally on my phone editing these thumbnails in Canva, sending it to you, and then you were like, okay, make this more yellow, make it a little bigger, like. And then you're like, okay, it looks good, which has become the standard way I do thumbnails now. Yeah,
that's awesome. But that's also, again, like culture, community, right? Like that, Mike Winger did that for me. Like Mike Winger did that for me when I had like, I don't know, 50,000 subscribers. Like he like was like, yo, change your thumbnails because you're putting the words of your thumbnail in the bottom right-hand corner of the video, which usually has the timestamp so people won't see it when they're scrolling through, and like broke that down for me on one of his live streams. Mike was doing stuff like similar, like YouTube, Christian YouTube help.
Yes.
On his second channel. And so, I just think we have a culture of that, but I don't know if that's like weak as Christian YouTube have a culture of that, or that's just YouTube. Like YouTubers tend to be way more collaborative than like my past life than rappers, for example, right? Or like pastors. Like if you go into like some of the quasi like celebrity not like real celebrity pastors, but like the wannabe celebrity pastors, like they're all very weird. They're like Christian rappers. It's very toxic. And YouTube's different than that. And then I feel like our community is different than that. And so I don't know which one's first. I don't know if it's like because YouTube tends to be more collaborative.
That's a really good point.
You know, or just we're Christians on YouTube just know how to behave better, like actual Christians, you know, that are not operating from the slack mentality.
We don't stop being Christians.
Right. I don't know. I don't know which one it is, but it is interesting for sure.
I think that's a good point. I got to think about that in regards to YouTube kind of being the sort of thing. Collaboration is sort of a part of YouTube, has been historically a part of YouTube.
I wouldn't even say collaboration, yes, but I mean like there's channels that have millions of subscribers that are not Christians. Like these guys are not Christians. Like stuff I watch in like the hip hop essay documentary realm that like will stumble across my channel, send me a DM, and I'll be fans of theirs and like encourage me. Like keep doing what you're doing, you know. Wow. Like from guys you guys have may never heard of to like Adam 22. You know what I mean? Like it's such a weird spectrum where people just tend to be more encouraging for some reason, and I don't know what that is.
Well, maybe because they realize how hard it is.
Probably. Probably. And something I've been thinking about recently, and I'm sure you're familiar with this, is the Pareto principle, the 80-20 principle, where like the bottom, like the top 20% get the 80% of the resources, right? And it's like super controversial because it's like capitalism is bad, yada yada. But it's actually a principle across everything. Like the top 20% of YouTubers make 80% of the revenue. The top 20% of earners make 80% of the revenue. Like like it's such a weird thing that it's not just about wealth. Like it's actually across the board. And so my brain just goes like, well, how do we get as many people into the top 20%? Like, how do we get as many people into the top 20% of being YouTube creators, into being healthy, into being fit, into being great husbands? Like, how do we transition those numbers? Because that seems to be just the natural flow of where everything goes.
Like, who's influencing culture is what you're going after in reality. And you want to encourage as many Christians as possible. This is partly why I love doing the interviews with the scholars on Thursdays that I do, is because, like, I had my former professor on yesterday, who's a philosopher, specifies in epistemology. And it's like, I know him, maybe a certain population of Christians know him, but like so many more people should know him.
Yes.
Just because of what they provide and the value they provide. And YouTube just gives a really, really good place for you to bring these people on and interview them and talk to them and go, here you go, world, right? And so the more we have of that, the more we're going to influence culture, because the reality is that everybody's influencing culture. Like some of us were out yesterday, we were talking about Mr. Beast and kind of the controversy that's going on with one of his, I know you've done reaction videos to this recently. And it's like, who would have thought 5 years ago that a guy like Mr. Beast would be influencing an entire generation? You said something that was very interesting in the reaction I was watching on that subject. You said that most of the people that are watching Mr. Beast tend to be younger. And we watch it because, like us being a bit older folks, because he's got such an influence. There's so much talk around it and stuff. We watch it. And so that would go along with like his ideas, his perspective, his personality, all that stuff is influencing folks.
And I would say he's influencing folks top down just by sheer visibility, right? 100 million subscribers. But I think there's a time and a place and the opportunity to influence people bottom up, meaning regular people, regular community, regular folks that have a groundswell that then influence bottom up. I would say Dave Ramsey does this. I would say Gary Vee did this, right? So these are their ideas, but the tribe becomes the catalyst to make the idea even bigger. I was on the podcast app yesterday, and like Dave Ramsey, which I don't really listen to anymore, still has like a top 20 podcast, which is insane that many people consume him. And I saw his YouTube, and we thought they were struggling on YouTube and dying and whatever, but like he still has a top 20, which if anyone knows anything about podcast versus YouTube, a podcast listener is worth way more than in terms of the impact you can have on them, worth way more than a YouTube viewer, right? Because just average view duration, you view video for 8 minutes versus a podcast. Most folks listen to a podcast for at least for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, if they click in. So Ramsey has had an example of someone having a bottom up impact. He has his platform, but it's really the people on the bottom that get so excited about his message because it actually impacts their finances in a real way. And so then there becomes a groundswell of people getting out of debt, doing the debt-free scream, like living on less than what they make, all these principles from Proverbs. And it's not an endorsement of everything Dave Ramsey says or believes, but it's just interesting that I think there's room for that with all types of platforms and all types of content. Yeah,
here's what's interesting. So I take those interviews that I do on Thursdays, and I used to upload them to Anchor, Anchor.fm, and they would send it everywhere else. And then Spotify ended up buying Anchor.
Yeah.
And then one of the recent updates to it is that you can post a video that goes as a video podcast on Spotify, and then they send the audio everywhere else. So I'd been updating it, and then I hadn't been. I kind of neglected it. And then the other day I sat down and I downloaded every single one of the videos that I hadn't of the podcasts, the Thursday ones. And I went in there, and I'm looking at the analytics, and it says you have 400 listeners on Spotify.
Yeah.
And I
that's
was
great.
like, why am I not paying attention to this? Like,
Yeah.
so it's like, I need to be a little more methodical in the way, because I had no idea that there's people like just consuming the audio form or even the video audio form. And then I went into the analytics. This is a crazy thing. On YouTube, most of my content, the analytics age-wise is like 18 to 40. On Spotify, it was 44 years old to 49 to 59.
Yep.
Completely different the demographic. And I was like, why wouldn't I do that?
Yep. And by the way, the 1%, the top 1% of podcasts only get about 5,000 plays an episode. So that's not that many views if we look at YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So like we're getting about 1,000 plays, 1,200 plays per episode. So like just getting into the top 1% isn't even that big of a jump. And it's a different mindset because the person that listens to a podcast is probably driving and they probably don't care about the video as much. Versus the person that's watching a video is probably on their phone, sitting down, completely devoted to it. And so I think that's a huge opportunity for creators to hop on.
The other thing is YouTube just recently did an update.
Yep.
Or they released not an update, but a feature where they have podcasts now.
Yeah. You could auto playlist them. Yep.
I didn't even do this. My playlist that I had as the interviews that I do on Thursdays automatically by YouTube got recognized as a podcast, and then they designate it as a podcast because they're trying to get into that place. I mean, we say this because there's something to do on YouTube for anyone.
Yep. And there's micro niches within micro niches. There definitely is something about like first user's advantage, like someone that's earlier to a platform, right? But I would have thought that the podcasting was, I would have thought it was too late. Like, but now I'm seeing podcasting as like one of the biggest opportunities, just because, again, just sheer listen and consumption, how long people consume versus how long they consume on. I think it's a huge opportunity. And again, when you see Spotify buying Anchor and you see YouTube changing the algorithm and auto creating a whole separate podcast playlist feature, like that should tell you where the opportunity is. And I would have thought it was like, oh, it's kind of a wrap, it's the deal's done 5 years ago. Like I would have been like, oh, and now it's like this huge resurgence.
Then you get someone like Joe Rogan.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, there's a question here. It's a super chat just came in from Pristine Auto Detailing. Thank you for the super chat, brother. He says, what AI app / software do y'all use for creating shorts from my long content? Looking to try with my stuff.
Well, you just hit me to this actually. You pulled up to the studio whenever you were here a week ago, and you said you were educating me. We haven't tried one yet. The software I use for editing shorts is Descript. I really like it. It's simple. It's an easy way for anyone that wants to get into video to get into video. They made it initially for podcasts, but then I've been doing all the shorts that I shoot where there's like I'm reacting to something. Those are all Descript. And my shorts editor is coming over to Descript. So that's what I've been using. But you showed me some ones that can like take this conversation.
I got this from Sean. I got this from Sean from Think Media because he did like how to use AI for various things. Yeah. I watched that video and then I did a run and I was like, dude, I'm going to use this because as someone who does editing alone, I don't have anybody help me. Like I need stuff like this. So it's called video. The way you spell it is vidyo.ai. That's in the comments. I put it in there. The yearly subscription, there's 2 of them, but the medium one is like $300. I think it's well worth it because you can upload a 2-hour video in there. It'll give you like 16, 17 shorts in whether you want it vertical or horizontal. You can mess around with the templates and stuff like that. It does captions for you. And really, really high quality stuff. So all the recent shorts I've been posting have been done through this, and it's just really, really quick. It does the editing for you. It recognizes topics and then arranges it by topics. So out of the 15, 16 that it comes up with, the AI comes up with, you can maybe use 4 or 5 of them.
And it's called VIDYO.
Yeah, .ai.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. It's a really, really good software, so it helps a lot. Ruslan, I know you got to go because you got so many things. I want to honor that. You got a lot of stuff going on today. Tell us what you have going on today, so folks maybe can catch that later on.
Well, first of all, it's my son's last day of spring break, so I took him rock climbing this morning, which was super fun, and that ended in us playing ping pong or table tennis, and so that was great. Today we have Isaiah Saldivar in person with us. So I'm going to be interviewing him for my podcast. We're going to be doing a live stream together, and then he's going to be interviewing me for his podcast. So
which is going to come out next week.
Well, there might be a clip of it today on the main channel.
I
his
thought
podcast
his interview
is streaming.
of you.
No, it's streaming tonight.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it's streaming tonight. Yeah, I got to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure we're streaming live to his YouTube page because he does his podcast live, from my understanding. Okay. And so I got to go back and see. But yeah, so I'll be on his channel tonight, I think at 6. And so that should be fun because me and Isaiah like have actually a really good relationship offline. Is today the 14th? Yeah, it's streaming tonight on his channel. So we have a really good relationship where we like geek out over tech stuff, and so we've been able to like develop a ton of rapport. But then there's obviously some theological disagreements we're gonna have. So it should be interesting, like two guys that like me and you agree on most things. I feel like theologically and politically, and we're friends. Whereas like I'm friends, but there's some things we probably disagree on. But there's a lot of stuff we probably also agree on. So it should be fun. It should be fun. It should be a fun conversation. And I genuinely like him. Like he's just a fun guy. Like he's a cool guy when he's not in the social media realm. You know, like when you know someone versus like who they are on social, it's just different. You know, and so I'm like super excited to be hanging out with him today, man. So nice. He's getting here pretty soon here. So I think he's gonna pull up in like a few minutes.
Fun.
So, yeah.
As a good reporter, ask the tough questions.
I know.
But enjoy.
Fun.
I mean, look, man. It's always like you're always gonna have people who are gonna tell you like, you should have asked this and you should have asked that. I mean, we're not all knowing, but I think overall, I mean, the goal would be that there be an edification and then maybe even clarity. Because I think my personal opinion is that I think Isaiah and that whole crowd at times say things that they don't qualify, and then they come under fire for not qualifying it, and then they qualify it. It's like you could have qualified that way in the beginning, and maybe not have to go through that. And
you're right. Like clarity leads to confidence. And by the way, our Patreon community has a ton of questions for him. So if anybody wants to ask a question, you could just drop it right in the Patreon. And so anyway, there's a ton of questions, and he's not afraid to have hard conversations or whatever. So it's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
Very nice. Well, I'll let you go. Thank you so much again for jumping in here. Thank you for all the support that you've given and just the friendship that we've built, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Peace.
Okay, we got our next friend ready to come on. This is the pastor that I disagree with most. So this is hilarious because Ruslan... Jeremy, Ruslan just said that I agree on so much stuff. And it's like, hey, here's a Presbyterian guy who likes dunking babies in water. And we got a pretty good relationship.
We do. We may not agree on everything, but we can agree on the essentials. And that's the most important.
And this again, goes into the way we interact because I've kind of tried to stay hands off. I was going to make a video because I had an interaction with Isaiah, and then I said no. John Clash, who's going to be on later on, he's confronted some of these ideas a lot more. He's been on Cultish, and then he's made videos kind of saying, what are you guys doing with this whole demonic kind of stuff? I know he released a video yesterday. John released a video yesterday. Actually, a conversation from a while ago between Ruslan and Isaiah. And John Clash knows Ruslan. As a matter of fact, John and I got connected through Ruslan, and then we've gotten connected through John. So hey, Ruslan, thanks, man. Thanks. At the end of the day, it all roads lead back to Ruslan. The idea is that you and I, like, if we were to sit there and parse out our theology, we would disagree on a lot of stuff. And it's not just like you're a Calvinist and I'm not. There's a lot more that goes into it. You probably are a lot more cautious when it comes to, say, the gift of the Spirit or what we would classify as manifestations of the Spirit or something like that than I would be. But in a healthy dialogue and theological respect and clarity, like as long as you're presenting your view in a clear kind of format, There's tons of respect, man. And we're willing to do ministry together because we view this at the end of the day as a ministry, as we were just talking about with Ruslan, because we want to reach the masses. That's
Well, yeah, and ultimately at the end of the day, one thing I know for sure, when we're all sitting in heaven, we're not going to be debating whether or not we should dunk babies or not, right? Like, so we might have differences, and as long as we're consistent theologically and to the best of our ability, to not twist scripture and to be honest and be held accountable when we do, that's fine. And there will be always passages that I think that we can come to and have different interpretations as long as we're holding to those essentials. And that's why usually the questions I try to ask are about essential things. I had a live stream the other day where I was going through some of the out of context verses in the movie that just
so you went and
recently came out.
saw the movie. I haven't seen the movie. By the way, the movie we're talking about is what was it called? Come Out
in Jesus'
name. You went and saw the movie. You were in a theater watching that movie. I didn't.
I was.
And you did a review of it. You spoke about again. You've made videos on these things. So okay, let me. Pisabi upon him says, sorry, Ruslan June. Ruslan, if you're still watching, Ruslan June, I can come as a guest on your show. I only charge $72. We're going to have him come on, man. He's going to come on. This is going to be something else today. Okay. Let's see. And my fellow presby, is that a term actually that you guys use?
Presbys, yeah. Presbyters, it's the short for presbyter.
You guys are all elders.
Yeah, I'm
the
a teaching elder.
Denomination is priesthood of all believers.
Sure, I 100% agree. I think that the professionalization of ministry in general has done a lot of harm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I had
a
hermeneutics professor who would like fake spit every time he would say laity and clergy, and he would be like, laity, disgusting word, because he hated that distinction. People misuse it and abuse it in all sorts of ways. He's like, priesthood of all believers. You want to be a real Protestant, you got to believe in the priesthood of all believers. Mm-hmm. And this is true in regards to mainline denominations and in regards to kind of these newer movements that I would say are I'm going to use a word here. Let me not use that word because I take that word very seriously. Misguided.
I know what you mean.
Misguided. Where they use words like prophet and apostle and so on and so forth. I mean, we had my professor Doug Guyver was on yesterday. He's written a book on the NAR. He's written 3 books on the New Apostolic Reformation and kind of the movements. He's debated Michael Brown. I think the American Gospel, the new American Gospel movie that is, I think, coming out. It hasn't come out yet.
No, it hasn't. I'll be covering it when it does.
Just to let you guys know how connected we are, right? I'm just gonna feel good about it. Yeah. But Doug Guyver, who was on my show yesterday, is in that movie. That's awesome. And he's actually in conversation in that movie with Dr. Michael Brown. So I mean, even those moves, so traditional movements, denominations, who've again caused the division between laity and clergy. Some of these newer movements are doing exactly the same thing, where it's like, oh, you're an apostle, you're a prophet, these offices, like, oh, we're here, but you guys are here. And I'm like, forget all that.
Ephesians 4 blows that all out of the water anyway. Like, when you look at what Paul preaches and teaches, and he teaches that the role of those who have office is actually to equip everybody else to do the ministry. Ephesians 4:12. We keep coming back to that verse in our church all the time because it's so easy for folks to be like, no. Evangelism is the pastor's job. Oh, no. Visiting the sick, that's the deacon's job. Or setting up for church, that's the role of the deacons or the elders or whatever. And in reality, no, the role of the deacon and the elder is to equip the saint for the work of ministry.
Correct.
And what is the work of ministry? Preaching the gospel, caring for the sick, helping those, sharing. Like hospitality is for all. So trying to lead people into that is really important, because it's too easy. It's easier just to do it yourself than to teach someone else to do it.
Yeah. And we were at our men's Bible study yesterday. We were talking about, we just recently started going through, actually yesterday was the first day, First Timothy and then Second Timothy and Titus. And part of the reason we started is because we want to encourage the men in our church to take seriously their call to leadership in God's church. But that doesn't neglect the fact that we're all called to be disciples. There is a priesthood of all believers. We are a nation of priests, as Old Testament and New Testament both teach. And we shouldn't be sort of these lazy individuals sitting there. This was very common in like the 90s and then the early 2000s in evangelical circles. When I just became a Christian, I heard it quite a bit, like, oh, that's your gifting. Oh, you're gifted this or you're gifted that. And it's like, well, like, am I a gifted chair set-upper on Sunday mornings when there's nobody setting up chairs? It's like, get up and set up the chairs. Like clean stuff, organize things. There's so many things in so many areas that you can serve in your church. I mean, literally, you can stand there in front of the church, shaking hands and giving out the programs. I don't know what it was. It could have been a short or something I was watching. Those of us who do YouTube stuff consume an unnecessary amount of content, by the way. Just sometimes we need to really protect our minds and hearts because just the random stupid stuff that comes our way. I'm not talking about people sending us stuff. I'm talking about you're like scrolling, watching something, and then it's just something really dumb and stupid that just came up. But it was something that was talking about, it was some girl who was talking about like, you shouldn't be afraid. Yeah, I remember now. You shouldn't be afraid of like the pastor's son, like dating in church. It was like the advice. You shouldn't be afraid of the pastor's son. And then she said the head usher or the head deacon. And what you should be afraid of is like the sound guy, the audio visual folks. And then but here's what caught me. I was like, what the heck is a head usher and a head deacon? Like, I have no idea what that is. I literally don't, because it's like, you're an usher. Why do we need you? Like, I get it. You're the guy in charge of the other ushers, but to have that as a title, like, by the way, look at me. I'm the head usher. It was just like, this is so silly. Literally, your job is to usher people to their seats.
So we just recently reordered how we do deaconing, and part of the
this
reason
is interesting. Teach us, Presbyterian man.
Well, so it's many Presbyterians may not do it this way, but we've changed, because what we found was the deacons consisted usually of a board, meaning you would have to have a meeting either quarterly or once a month of the full deaconate to gather and to do business. The problem is most of the business of deacons is relational ministry, caring for the sick, going and visiting, caring for the people on Sunday morning, hospitality ministry. It doesn't make sense to gather as a board. And so what we had a deacon moderator. So the head of the deacons called the deacon moderator, but we just recently changed our bylaws to, we don't have board meetings for deacons anymore, because we want deacons to just go do ministry. And if we have to have a meeting about something, we'll gather everyone together, but only if we need to, not out of this kind of, you're supposed to have a meeting.
Correct. Hey, question, by the way. Now your denomination, because I remember you were on a panel and you spoke about this, your denomination left the mainline Presbyterian denomination. You guys split away from them over gender stuff.
Well, in 1981, the EPC was formed out of the PCUSA. Our specific church left in 2012, I think.
Wow. So. Hung in there for a long time.
Well, and because mainly, like a lot like Baptist churches, is there is this autonomy of the local church a little bit. You're still affected by the presbytery level, but we were still our own congregation.
Correct.
So even though there was liberal drift, for lack of a better term,
in the denomination,
it didn't impact us until it started impacting us at a presbytery level, because then it got to the point of, we can't trust who's being ordained. We can't trust we just couldn't. And things like a Muslim
Correct.
imam
We
opened
actually
prayer.
we were renting from a Presbyterian church. Our church was renting from them, and they went the opposite way of they're like full. As far as latest I heard, where they're like full affirming and stuff like that. When we say liberal here, by the way, we specifically mean theologically liberal, even
Correct.
though that doesn't exclude liberal in the political sense. Usually those go hand in hand, but we're talking about theology here.
Well,
do you
so
guys have
I would
women?
love-
Do you guys have women deaconesses?
We do. We also
do.
have women elders.
Oh, really?
We see
Interesting.
we see that as a secondary issue. So
Very
there will also be
interesting.
female pastors as well, because we would see that as a secondary non-salvation issue. There's some churches that won't have female
Sorry,
elders.
when you say we, you mean the denomination.
Denominationally, yes, across the board. Yeah.
Cool.
I have my own particular perspectives on that, but still fit within the denomination. So, hey, I would love to stay and talk longer. I actually have to run.
Go. I know
want to
that.
say congratulations on 4,000. And have you hit 50 Patreons yet?
No.
I haven't. So, guys, if you're here, by the end of this stream, let's hit 50 Patreons. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Support the ministry. What Arthur's doing is awesome, and you all know that if you're already here. So
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for calling in, Jeremy. Appreciate you, man.
glad to. Anytime, brother. I'll catch you later.
See ya. Man, we are going on time. It's nuts, right? Like, it's very cool for me because I just have someone on and we have a discussion and move on to the next person. We're waiting for our next guest to call in. All the other people called in right on time, and they were actually waiting for a couple of minutes before this. So let's go. Check mark David, check mark Ruslan, check mark Jeremy, and now we're waiting for our guy to call in. Tomek's gonna call in. Our very good friend Tomek's gonna call in, and we got other guests, and then we'll have even some of you guys call in. We're gonna have some time for you guys to call in. Future says the head usher herds all the other ushers. Hilarious. By the way, 27 people in here. We got 42 likes. Well done, everybody. Thank you for hitting those likes. I appreciate it. I just, again, want to share my gratitude with you guys. Don't support anything if you have Patreon disabled. Well, Pisabi, don't be so angry, okay? Because you're gonna call in. I have you, Pisabi. I have you at the 1:30 to 2 p.m. spot, so you can call in and share your ideas with us, and tell us why we shouldn't be supporting anything. But I want to share my gratitude for you guys. SDM, thank you very much. That says Happy Celebration Day, and just. Not only like you guys subscribing, but being in the chats, engaging. There was a time when I used to live stream when I would have 2 people in the live stream, 1 person in the live stream. It's very difficult doing a live stream and trying to answer people's questions when there aren't any questions to answer. And so just full of gratitude, ladies and gentlemen, for you guys. And because Jeremy said it, and because Pisabi said something negative, if you are interested in supporting us on Patreon, go to Apologia Center, patreon.com/Apologia Center, and support our ministry. Become a patron. One of the things that we do, there's a lot of perks, but one of the things that comes with that is a Bible study that we've been doing. We're going through the book of Ecclesiastes every Monday at 9:30. So support us in that. Who keeps deleting Pisabi's comments? Nobody's deleting his comments. What are you talking about? Don't accuse us of false stuff, Emil. You can call in and talk too. Your turn's coming up. Hey, we got our very good friend Tomek Khachaturi. How are you, brother?
Hey man, how you doing?
Pretty good. Nice hair, man.
Thanks, man. I combed it just for you.
Thank you. So
You
you can
know,
look nice.
when you work from home, you realize like how much work you used to put in when you would go into the office back in the day.
Appearances.
Yeah, because sometimes I'm like, when I actually have to go on a call every once in a while, like on the camera, I have to go in there, at least put a more decent shirt on, comb my hair, fix my beard because you're on a call with people. And then I'm like, man, I used to do that. I used to get up, I used to shower, choose clothes for the day, and go to work. Um, and then now I literally get up and I'm like, I have the shortest distance to work. It's like 20 feet from my bedroom, and then I'm right to where I'm working in the office. So life has changed.
That's interesting.
By the way, Pisabi, that guy's comments are getting deleted. Um, they're showing up on the comment section and then they're disappearing out of like the view of like the people who are viewing it. And I guess I think you get a separate when someone leaves a comment, you get something else on your screen. So you're seeing the comments, but we're not. It's being deleted.
Why? Why are they getting deleted?
I have no idea. That guy's not the brightest guy anyway, so who cares?
Wow, that's mean. He's gonna come on, man. He might have some words for you.
Yeah,
So
right.
he's gonna come on because he's look, man. Pisabi has been supporting this channel for like a week, and the guy already dropped a $72 super chat.
Oh, really?
So just some of you guys, man, you've been taking in
wow.
content and watching, and
So someone should tell Pisabi to just Venmo you directly, because doesn't YouTube take like 30%?
I'm not sure whether I want to give my personal information to Pisabi.
Oh man. Hey, listen, congratulations on 4,000 subscribers.
Thank you,
man.
brother.
It's a big deal.
You've been one of the things is that like I talked to Ruslan, who is a content creator, right? And he's a good one at that. He does what he does very well, and he's told me, hey, do this, do that. You know, he's helped me out in certain areas. You've also spoken into my ear, but as a consumer,
Yes.
like you consume quite a bit of podcasts,
Yeah.
and you're like, hey, do this, and Steven Crowder did this, and you know, tell us.
I'm big on YouTube, man. I think like I have a love-hate relationship with YouTube because so much of the information that I've learned and taken in, whether it's just politics, faith, whatever, even comedy, has been via YouTube. So it's had a major influence in that sense in my life. So when I see them like sort of taking down conservative commentators and stuff like that, there's this weird feeling because part of you is like, man, that sucks that they're doing that, and another part of you is like, man, none of these people would have had a voice without YouTube as a platform. So it's like it's big, man. I think a lot of people get content, and to what you were saying, like honestly, I don't just watch Mr. Beast because other kids watch it. I just like Mr. Beast. Like I think some of those videos are great.
Well, hey, how old are you?
I'm 30 exactly.
Yeah, so Ruslan's older than you.
Yeah. I think they're great.
It's weird
videos,
because it
man.
doesn't
Like,
feel like that, but there is an 8-year gap between you and I.
no, it's true. I mean, some of those videos are great. Like when he traps himself in like a certain location for like 24 hours. Or I think there was a guy that actually had to stay in one building in a remote like house for like a month.
Yeah, I
Or
saw that.
3 months. It was something crazy, and his family came and visited him during like Father's Day. I was like, this is like real dedication.
Yeah, but I think the
to your
payout
YouTube
was
channel.
like the payout was like $500,000 or something.
Yeah,
He was doing it
$500,000.
to.
It was
They offered him. I think at one point they offered him like 120,000, 125,000, and he said no.
Yeah, to
Like
leave.
I'm doing this for a
And
reason.
then they started like tearing his house down, like towards the end of the video.
They
trying to,
cut
like,
they cut the house in half or something. This was nuts. So I saw the one where the kids and the parents were trapped in two different places, and they would make it smaller. Bro, that was like psychologically, like you could tell it was damaging. Like when the parents or the kids would hear because they had this thing where they would talk to each other, and you could tell how isolation can just drive you nuts.
Oh yeah.
Right? Just in case people weren't sure
for sure.
of what the lockdowns did to us. The lockdowns put us in isolation. Let's get a little political here because I know you love this stuff. You guys, the lockdowns put us in isolation, and we still don't know, in my opinion, the way some of this stuff's going to impact the future generation. Kids, kids who were born during that time period, kids who were 1 or 2 during that time. And I say this as having kids, but we didn't really isolate our kids. We had our kids like in a controlled ways. We were able to have community and church community and friendships. So maybe the effect was not that much, but I know folks whose kids are like super antisocial because they had no one except their parents to interact with during that time period.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's gonna, both of my kids were born during COVID. So my first kid was born 2020. And then, by the way, I couldn't go into any of the doctor's appointments, which sucks because like those initial appointments when you're like hearing your child's heartbeat and all that kind of stuff, for the majority of it, I wasn't allowed to enter. And then even after the kid was born, you could only have one parent at a time going into the hospital and stuff like that.
With
So
the kid. Yeah. Wow.
yeah, no, so it was intense. Like, it was a crazy experience. We were actually like like changing doctors and locations and stuff like that just so I could like enter the building and see some of that stuff happening. So that's kind of a psychological impact on generations to come. So for sure, it's been a rough. But anyways, I think this all started when I was saying that like I had to get ready or something, like comb my
Yeah,
hair.
well, Jason said this man stopped showering.
No, but you know what? Like going back to the content creation stuff, man, it's tough. Like people don't realize, like when you're scrolling past like a YouTube video and you see like a thumbnail that has like colors and stuff on it, and you just scroll down. It probably took a person who doesn't have a team. It could take up to an hour to just make a thumbnail, or even longer. So it's really really, and you know I've dabbled in that world. Actually, I was doing so much video editing that the current company I'm at, I think I'm safe to share this story, but they were pitching to a major company, and they were pitching our product to a major company, and all of our content creators were out. So like a couple of them are on vacation. One of the main guys was on like a remote campground. They couldn't get a hold of him. So I had like the I had like the VP of marketing call me, and he's like, "Hey man, I heard you like make videos and stuff like that just for fun." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, we need to pitch to this company. This when I say very large, I mean very
Yeah.
large." She's like, "Can you like take all of this content? We can send you the audio separately, visual separately, it separately, put it together." Ended up putting it together by the end of like a 12-hour day.
Wow.
I kid you not, I was lying down on my office floor. This is in the office, like where I work. I was on the office floor, like people were bringing me food, bringing me water, massaging me, like because they're like, we need to get this done. Anyways, it got done. We
VIP treatment.
yeah. Well, that ended up being a customer, and then yeah, I ended up getting like a little gift card. But that being said, like it takes a lot of work to do this stuff. Like I know what you're doing, like spending time, not even when you're on live, just the preparation that goes behind it,
Yeah.
or the energy you're putting in those, like in that short clip you created. You sent it over to me, and details. You're like, how is it with the music? How is it without the music? Blah blah. So people need to realize like when you're watching these channels, or when you're considering supporting the channels and stuff like that, the person is not like living living it up in some other world, and then they have a couple hours to spare, and they're like, hey, I'll go on my YouTube channel and make content. It's a lot of hard work, and I applaud you for that, bro.
Thank you.
You've put in the
Yeah.
time. Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah,
So,
it's really cool. It's always cool in anything that we do. It doesn't matter. It's always cool to see things do kind of better, or get to a place that we intended on getting to.
yeah.
Now it's I know when Ruslan was talking, he was talking about like starting a small business and stuff like that. And there's a lot of principles that cross over into starting a ministry and then starting a business or whatever. A lot of principles that you can borrow from it. But one of the things I don't like, and that I've seen in church, and you've been long enough in churches to know, is like churches tend to like cut corners on quality.
Mm. Yes.
They tend to cheap out on quality. It's like a lot of times, you go to a church board or something, or some kind of a ministry board, and you're like, we have two options. We can get this camera or this camera. Or in your case, because you're a musician, can we get this speakers or this speakers? Most of the time, people are immediately going to go with, let's go with the cheapest option we can go.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Now, Now, there's room for that. I'm not like against that in principle. As a matter of fact, I remember we were getting a wireless mic set, and I was like, we should get the good one, and it was pretty expensive. And then you were like, look, there's a cheaper one. I think that'll do the job. Let's buy it. If it doesn't work, we'll return it, and then we'll go with the expensive one. We ended up buying the cheaper one, which is a phenomenal system. Like we didn't even need, because of what we needed. If we had a bigger auditorium or something like that, might have been needed. So there's room for that. But a lot of times ministries and stuff will cheap out. They like this camera, that camera, go with this camera, even though the quality is going to look bad and stuff like that. One of the things I've seen on YouTube, just like continuously, folks who've been on YouTube 10 years, 12 years or something like that, go watch their old videos. It's like this constant improvement. The editing gets better. The quality of the cameras gets better. The audio gets better. I mean, for me, even going from having a USB mic that was directly getting connected to my computer, into my laptop, by the way, to going to an XLR one that goes into a mixer, and then it goes into the computer. It's like, you see the difference, you feel the difference, you hear the difference, and then people appreciate that quite a bit.
No, I see. I'm telling you, man. I see. For the people watching who maybe don't know you personally, I see that excitement. Like you're like a what do you call it? A kid in a candy shop when it comes to this stuff. Like I remember I called you one time, just FaceTimed you. I don't know. I was randomly calling you to like make a joke or something, and then you ended up showing me like that new soundboard or whatever you got, and you're like, look, I can store this here, I can store that there, and I can store multiple in one place. And I remember hanging up. I'm like, man, it must be nice to be so excited about something. Like I need a career. like I don't wake up in the morning like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go on my software company's like blah 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 and do that. Like I'm not excited about it, and you're excited about this stuff. So actually, you've been asking people questions. I want to ask you a question. What's been your most rewarding like part in having this YouTube channel so far, from 0 subscribers to 4,000? Like what's been I guess 2-part question. What has been the most rewarding to you personally, and then how has it changed your like outlook on ministry and like life and stuff altogether?
Well, in regards to the most rewarding, I would say it has nothing to do with what's seen publicly. It's the emails I get. It's the private messages I get. As a matter of fact, here, I'll read one. I haven't responded to this. This came through Instagram. So, I do these question and answer things on Instagram, and I just tell people, ask questions, and then I jump on to like 30-second responses. And I did one yesterday. I explained something, and then here's what somebody wrote as a question yesterday. And this is what the rewarding stuff is. He wrote, "No question. Just want to express my gratitude again, bro. God bless you abundantly." These are the reason why I say it is because the question he asked was a pretty tough question, and that gets posed to Christians quite a bit. And then a lot of Christians don't have answers to it. He asked that question, and then I answered it, and that's what he sent. It's the emails I get. It's the private messages I get of people like, hey man, that was something I was really struggling with. Somebody put a comment yesterday under a very old video. I'm shocked that somebody actually went and here, let me see when this video was. But I haven't responded to this comment, but I want to see because I know it's old because the background is purple under this video. This is a video I did. This is a video I did a year ago. It has 94 views. It's a live stream video. Okay. And again, the fact that somebody went and watched this 1-year-old video. Yeah. Typically, when you produce a lot of content, people don't watch these older things. Wrote, good discussion about prayer. I've been wondering what we should be praying, we should be praying to. Now, I haven't watched the whole thing, but my immediate assumption here would be that because we're Trinitarians and there's roles in the Trinity, our prayers get directed to individual persons. and we don't want to mix that up. And then the person quoted a Bible passage, and then asked the question about whether we should be praying only to the Father or through the Spirit or whatever, right? It's things like this where people who've been Christians have these theological questions, and they wrestle with it. They think about it. Maybe they don't have the individuals around them that could answer these questions. And then they come across my content and interact with me, and then they get a response. And this has always been the case for me. I've always wanted to be a teacher my entire life. Partly the reason why is because whenever I'm teaching and I look into the crowd, and then you have these confused looks amongst all sorts of students, and then you explain something, and then people's eyes kind of light up. They kind of get wide, and you can tell they get a smile on their face. They're like, "Oh wow, this just made sense."
No, that's true.
And my teaching style. I'm very interactive. I talk. I question. I want feedback in the process of it, and so that's the most rewarding thing. And it's cool. Like maybe it is 4,000 today, and maybe it's 5,000 in a month, and maybe God willing, it's 100,000 or more than that. But at the end of the day, for me, it's going to be the individual people who are going to say, wow, I didn't understand this Bible passage, and now I understand it. Or I didn't have the ability to interpret the Bible for myself, and now I do. Or this theological subject puzzled me, and I had no answers to people who questioned me on it, but now I do. That, for me, is the most rewarding thing that could possibly happen. What was the second part of your question?
So the first part was what you answered, and then personally, how has this channel changed your life personally? What has it done for you? Has it kind of given you a clearer vision of the future, etc.? And what are your goals, I guess, moving forward?
Yeah. So I'll start with a negative. You know what kind of a social butterfly I am, and I like being around people. One of the difficulties is being locked up in a studio a lot and not actually interacting with people person to person next to me. I mean, I'm interacting with a lot of people, but it's always behind a screen, right?
Yeah.
And as someone who went from doing ministry and always being in person with people to even going to Armenia and then always being around people even there because of the nature of the ministry I was doing, to being in front of a computer, that wasn't my thing. Now your job requires you to be in front of a computer quite a bit, and you might be used to that. That's taxing. I've recently started, for some reason I didn't even think to do this, but I started opening up I have a black curtain that covers the window to my office because I can't have natural light coming in. We need studio lights. But whenever I'm not live, I'm just editing and doing stuff, I get rid of that curtain. I just want sunlight coming in because it does it affects your mood. Yeah. It really affects your mood. So in a negative sense, that. In regards to the future, I agree with Ruslan. This is a method to impact culture. This also gives us access to all sorts of different ministries and exposes us to things. Even randomly meeting people who are like, hey, I've watched one of your videos. Now that hasn't happened to me as much as obviously other people, but it's happened.
You did meet one fan recently, right? At a restaurant, they walked up.
That was hilarious. Yeah,
I watched your content.
But again, I've built friendships because of stuff I've done online, way in the past, and the future, I think, is this stuff's not going away. This stuff is just not going away. For Christians who are sitting there thinking that this stuff's going away, it is not.
No,
and
not.
It wasn't going to go away 10 years ago, 12 years ago, where people thought YouTube was a fad. And then now they're realizing you can do more stuff on YouTube than you can on Fox News and CNN or whatever like that. Look at the Daily Wire, right? Look at companies of this sort and the stuff they're doing and the decisions they've made and the directions they're going to and the money that's being dumped into it. I remember we were talking about the whole controversy that happened with Daily Wire and Crowder and the contract that they had offered them. People were like, dude, those are serious numbers for a guy who started on YouTube. So this stuff is the real deal. This is what people
Yeah.
are going to be consuming in various formats and in various forms. And Christians need to utilize it for the proclamation of the gospel.
Amen.
That's the
Look,
bottom line.
I actually like, contrary to popular opinion, I like my mother-in-law. I really do. I would say I love my
I
mother-in-law.
love my mother-in-law as well. I said that
Yeah, yeah,
publicly.
and she's really a great woman, but she pays all her bills and stuff. Like, she calls them in, and she goes like, she has like these like books and stuff like that. She's writing checks, calling. She's like, "Why did you charge me twice for my bill?" And then I'm like, "Mother-in-law, just just like, open an account and do it. Like, you don't need to be doing this." So I was talking to my wife. I said, "You know what? Like, we need to stay technologically relevant."
Yes.
Like, for multiple reasons. One is so our kids don't look at us like we're morons. That's one reason. So we're always able to engage with the culture, like engage with what they're talking about. So two is because there's going to be a time where, like you said, the dominant way to maybe get the word out to people and stuff like that. It's like you were saying yesterday. You're like, what's the most common like form of communication people have done to thousands of years? And then we were talking about letters. We were talking about the
Yep.
epistles in the Bible, and how, like, what was it, 23 out of the 27 New Testament books are letters. And so it's like, now those letters are translating into emails and Instagram messages and Facebook messages. So it's like, we need to be able to uh, put ourselves in a position where we understand the technology enough, where we have enough skills, where we have enough tangible skills to, like, be able to not follow the world necessarily, but if the world is creating that platform, and by world I mean, unbeliever secular countries, companies are creating platforms, we need to take advantage of them and use them for God's glory. And I think that's what you're doing. And listen, man, before I head out, I know you have more guests coming up, but I wanted to encourage you with one thing I've noticed. I haven't known you closely or personally for a very long time. I mean, I've known you.
For a
I
long
was
time. Yeah.
Yeah, I've known you for a long time, but I not in that sense of being close friends. But in the couple years I have known you as a close friend, I've noticed something, which is, a lot of people like to say this, but they don't actually do it. You know, the saying that goes, the older you get and the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know, or whatever. Something to that extent. I'm paraphrasing. But then, like, a lot of people that say that are just cocky people. You're like, no, man, like, you're a pretty, like, arrogant person who thinks you know it all. Stop trying to act like you're humble and you don't know much. Like, you just gave me like five thousand pages of, like, knowledge about everything, and then you're like, and then so I don't know much.
Dirt on my
But
head. I shame.
yeah. But listen, one thing I've realized about you, man, is you have genuinely become more humble as you've grown, not only in your channel, but you've grown in your faith and your ministry and your positions at church and stuff like that. And the way I noticed that the most, obviously, I'm not walking around your house with you every day. I'm sure your wife would
At
appreciate that.
home, I put a captain's hat on, and I have like general stars, and I have a little stick that I raise and I say, "Obey."
No, but I was gonna say, and I'll end this. I'll end this with this. But the thing I've noticed is, the way I've seen that humility in work, and that where that phrase, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know, in effect in your life, is when you're challenged or not challenged, and when there's a lack of a challenge to something you're saying, and somebody thinks they know it all and they're trying to respond to you. This can happen in any setting. I've seen this happen in multiple settings. You bite your tongue, and you don't bite your tongue all the time necessarily because, whatever, for a random reason. It's genuinely because I think you've come to a point where you're like, there is no purpose for me to have this conversation now, because outside of obliterating this person, nothing good will come out of it. So I've
Yeah.
seen you sort of with that battle of, like, I know the answer, but I'm not going to say it. Or I know that I can, like, challenge this person, make them look bad, but I'm not going to do it. And that is a sign, my friend, of someone who's matured in their walk with Christ, and also, there's no insecurity there when it comes to the knowledge they have in the Word. So
Thank
I
you.
appreciate.
I
Wow, what is
appreciate
that?
you. So I told you guys we're live for 5 hours. We might get delivery stuff coming in. My wife just delivered this cake to me. I got tea, so I need cake. I didn't even have to ask it. Look at that.
That's amazing.
Huh?
Do you want the candle on it?
Do I want a candle on it? No, I want 4,000 candles on it.
Well, we
4,000.
No, we're good.
Or just a 4, bro. Just a 4.
No, I want 4,000 on this little cake. Aras, your time period here is 2 to 2:30. You're early.
to go get ready.
Yeah. Women,
Yeah?
bro.
Yeah?
Women.
Everything is-
Tomic just told the entire world that because he works from home, he has to
Listen, yeah,
he doesn't shower.
I don't know if Aras can hear me, but I was
She
telling my
can't.
wife. I was telling my wife, I was like, I'm going on. Yeah, you should listen to me and stuff like that. And I'm like, Aras is also going on. And she's like, what time is Aras going on? I'm like, I don't know. I'll let you know. She's like, okay, I'll go on when Aras goes on.
Wow. Tomic told Tatiana, go on, I'm going on to like listen to me and stuff. And Aras is also gonna go on. And Tatiana said, when is Aras going on? Then I'll listen.
Aw,
Look at that. The women are like connecting together. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Well,
All right,
thank you, man. Appreciate it. We do have to do that little raffle. I don't know when we should do that raffle.
what raffle are you doing?
We're Hachik and Pastor Dave have offered to give away the hoodies.
You should do
hoodies.
it now, man. We got 25 people watching.
So
Do it
I gotta
now.
sit down and write in people's names into this generator. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll do that. Okay. If you want
right.
your name to be put, okay, thanks, Tom. We're waiting for our next caller, which is Emil.
Do I have
It's
to call?
cold.
Do I have to come in?
No, you're gonna come and sit next to me. I'm gonna call.
I'm cold. Okay, I'm gonna go get ready. Bye.
See, like outside light messes things up. There we go. Much better. Okay, if you want to be put into where is it? If you want to be put into this raffle right here, guys, go ahead and put in 1, and then I'll write your name in there. So if you want to be put into this, the drawing is for you to win. There's Daryl. Daryl. For you to get the bald, bearded, and biblical shirt. Just put the type. Just type in the number 1. So Jason's in. Just I'm gonna wait. If you want to be in the raffle, Daryl and Jason, righteous. I got 3. We got Aaron, Arin. Sad. I'm doing this all live, guys. We're waiting. We're giving you guys time to sign up for the raffle. We're gonna be giving away three of these. The way it's gonna go is we're gonna spin it. We'll randomize it and then we'll spin it, and then whoever gets it will delete their name. And then you're gonna have to email me your address so that when I order it, we can just ship it straight to your house. So sorry for the atheists. Yeah, you can't wear it. Ashken, that's gonna be funny for you to wear. Tatiana. She did come on. He said, I have locks. Come on, Daryl. It's okay. You can shave your head. Okay, guys, I'm going to bring in our next guest, but I'm waiting for more people to write in if they want to be in this raffle. Well, look at that. Dude, look at that beard and clean cut. I didn't see a Bible study yesterday, but you're looking good, my man.
Thank you, man. It's all for the show today.
Oh, he went and got a cut and stuff. I love the shirt logo, but I don't have a beard. It's okay. It's okay. If you, hey, your beard is longer than mine. That's. You got oil in there?
I just put some balm.
Oh,
Whatever it's called,
nice, nice. I forgot the beard. So yeah, you're shiny.
Shout out to Halftime Cuts, right?
Oh, you did. Oh, hey, don't give him a shout out, bro. He's not a supporter of this channel. No, that's fine. Anybody who's looking for a good barbershop, Halftime Cuts in Pasadena, good buddy of ours.
Mm-hmm. Hey, congrats on the 4K.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Emil, is your dad watching?
No.
I don't know. Is there a hidden?
Oh, I
meaning?
think I know what he's talking about.
Khachik saying, is your dad watching?
Yeah, maybe. No, he's at work, man. He's doing construction, so.
I'm still waiting for more people.
For what? For what? What's this? What's that spin thing for? Because I was in a meeting.
It's a giveaway that we're doing. Khachik has volunteered to pay for 2 hoodies.
Wait a minute. Then put my name on. What do you? What is this?
Khachik, are you okay with me putting these people's names on here? He's the one in charge.
Hey, can you guys stop deleting Pisabi's comments?
We are not deleting it.
It's
Okay.
the mods. Hey,
It's
mods.
not. It's not. No mod is deleting his comments.
All right.
I think I know why the comments are being deleted, but I can't say.
Okay.
I think it has to do with having multiple accounts and switching back and forth between them.
I see. That's a good system. So, what do you guys want to talk about today, huh?
Hang on. You guys asked Emil the theologian questions. How do you say that? Is that an I or an L? Leoksh. That's how you say it. It's Leoksh. Who is Leoksh? Dude, that's hilarious. Hey, now I am coming to live next. Tell all of your friends. Pisabi. Friends with a Z.
Pisabi hasn't gone on yet, right? No, he has not. He'll be on pretty soon, right after this, right?
Who asked that?
Assad. Elder Saad.
No, Saad. Hey, thank you, Jilly Hawk. But Pisabi wants his name in the giveaway. Okay. You guys, please don't ask Pisabi any questions until he comes on live. So Pisabi, quickly, please, what is the significance of the number 72? Pisabi upon him. He will answer that when he comes in live. So Emil, what are you in finals?
No, we're gonna start week 4 soon. I'm in a psychology class and the Gospel of Matthew. Matthew's been really good, very good. The teacher is Dr. David Paris, and I think he's the chairman of some like philosophical society of biblical literature or something along those lines.
Philosophical society? You mean
The word
Society of
philosophy, like the philosophy of linguistics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's good stuff. Yeah,
Wow.
and psychology. So I'm not paying attention in that class.
You should be. Depends if it's good psychology or not.
That's probably good.
You're being such a boss guy right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm not paying attention. Yeah, it's good.
Nah, Baba.
Yeah.
Nah.
How was Timothy and Titus?
Bro, we just did 3 verses, which were Paul, apostle of Christ, to Timothy, peace, mercy, and grace be upon you.
Peace upon him.
Peace upon him. So yeah, we went through a essentially a paper. Like I'll get you this paper, but it is a paper on New Testament letters and how to recognize them and interpret them and structure stuff. So it had to do with like structure of epistles, and then we'll get into the actual text next Thursday.
Okay. Nice.
Hey guys, I'm about to close. I'm about to close the sign up for the hoodie. Lioksh is previously known as Yez. Dude, pick a number. By the way, you have to send me your address. Like, you have to email me at info@apologiacenter.com if you win, so that we ship it to the right place.
We got 28 people watching. This is awesome.
So far, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people that are signed up for this. So we have 28 people watching, and only 12 people have signed up to win the raffle. So go ahead, guys. Feel free just to sign up. I'll give you guys a couple more minutes. Emma, what is the one thing? Maybe it's more than one, but I'll just say one. What's the one thing that you realize is different in regards to being in graduate school than when you were in undergrad, kind of as you're going through this?
So in my undergrad, first I would like to start off by saying that going straight to a master's degree before having a biblical studies background, in my opinion and in my experience, doesn't seem like a good idea.
You mean like to study theology?
To study theology, yeah, because that is different. That's true. That's different from biblical studies to a degree. And I would say it's not a good idea. And Ernesto Duke, the president of EBC, agrees. You can't fit a lot of these things into 2 years. It doesn't. You can't. You 100% will come out with a master's degree in theology, and you wouldn't be able to express or explain the meta narrative of Scripture even in a decent manner, because there's not enough time. There really is not enough time. In 2 years, you have to learn church history, theology, the philosophy behind it, and all that stuff. But there's no time to learn a bunch of these different books. I'm done with the Old Testament already, and we learned Genesis, Exodus, Isaiah, I think. There's just not enough time. So anyway, to bring it back to my experience, guys, I would say that my bachelor's in biblical studies was such an awesome time.
Yeah.
It was so nice. I'm sure you experienced that at Life Pacific, Arthur, and you go through pretty much the entirety of the Bible. You have 4 long years to do this, verse by verse, text by text, intro.
Mostly you learn how to study the Bible well.
Yeah.
And so when you're dealing with theological subjects that are potentially unbiblical, you have the ability to actually reason through the text and be like, no, who cares? Some theologian said that. Like, I frankly don't care if Schleiermacher said that, or if Barth said this, or like, I don't care. You don't impress me by quoting, Bultmann on this issue, because it's unbiblical. The text doesn't say it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're able to navigate through that. I completely agree with you.
Yeah. And a lot of it's regurgitation for bachelors, at least in my case. You're just learning a lot about the information, the background, the intro, the culture, and the text itself. And in a master's degree, I've noticed it's, first of all, well, mine is a master's degree in theology with emphasis in biblical studies. So it's still going back to the roots that I wanted. But in this experience, it's very, there's a lot of critical analysis, I would say, textual criticism. There's a lot of studying both liberal and conservative theologians. People give Fuller a bad rap, but it's not the case. Like so far, the liberal things that we had to read, as you know, it was actually a critique that I had to do. I had to read something.
Yes.
It was liberal-ish, and I was told, this is the assignment. You have to read this, and you have to critique it. That's the assignment, not partly critique it, but you have to critique it. So it's been good. It's been good, but the difference is stark, and I definitely like the biblical studies bachelor's route a lot more than this one.
Buck wants to know what the firmament means in the Old Testament. He's been watching too many old Earth videos. It means sky. That's it.
Yeah.
The way flat earthers develop their ideology about it being like a disc and then there's this firmament above it, it's just complete and utter nonsense. It just means sky.
Yeah.
Read any modern translation of Buck sent me a passage. I think it was Psalm 19:1. And it reads, by the way, I'm giving us till 1:15, and then I'm gonna spin the wheel.
No, is that the last spin that whoever wins?
No. This is the first spin. We're gonna do this 3 times, but
Gotcha.
we're gonna do the other 2 when Pisabi is on.
Okay.
We want him to be.
I hope he wins.
Psalm 19:1 says, in any modern translation, it will say, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaims his handiwork. It just means sky. Firmament just means sky. And the young earthers, not young earthers, flat earthers. Sorry, young earthers. I apologize, especially to Carl, because I don't ever want to put young earthers in the same category as flat earthers. Or I don't want to do that. I don't like that. So they'll say, oh, firmament means this, and they'll develop this weird view of what the world actually looks like. It's just complete nonsense.
Yeah,
And,
or the foundations of the earth means it's flat because it says foundations.
Yeah, like it has pillars holding it up.
Yeah. So Saad
Good
asked if that would apply to him. I'm thinking he's talking about entering into a master's program.
Yeah. Without a bachelor's in, yeah.
Saad, I would say if you do take classes without the intention of like having to graduate from it, but you want to learn more, just be very intentional of what classes you take. Honestly, like there's a lot that you do not have to take, but like take something like I'm right now, Matthew. You go really in depth with excellent scholarship, and you learn it almost verse by verse. It's very, very, very beneficial. So I would say be very particular with the classes you take. You want to learn about Romans and stuff, justification, righteousness, take a Romans class by a good teacher.
Yes. The guys, I should say this. I'm not sure if you've entered this raffle, please make sure you can only be in America or the EU. Like if you're in Australia or something, I'm not sure if anybody is, but please like tell me so I take you out of the raffle, because if you're in somewhere else around the world, like if you're in Armenia or something like that, maybe there's a way I can get it to you in Armenia. That's just because I have connections. Pisabi is in Iran. If Pisabi wins, then we'll get it to him in Iran, but via Armenia somehow.
So what I'm trying to say is, if you don't take the undergrad classes, and if you choose to do the master's one, just be very particular in the classes that you take. But if you don't care about the name, if you don't care about the degree and stuff, the undergrad, man, you would come out, in my opinion, understanding the text the way you want to, Saad. The way you want to. They'll take you verse through verse. They'll give you the intro, the culture, the background. They'll give you so much deep information. And the homework...
Sorry, I just had to cut you off because it's 1:15. Yeah. No, it's just it's not about the shipping cost for me. It's the website that we purchase it from ships to those places, because I'm just going to put your address in and it's going to ship it. Emma, you might not see what's going on here. So I've entered all your names. Haraj, you're entered in here. I put your name right there. It's on you. Yeah, we're gonna go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna shuffle the names. Emil, how many times should I shuffle the names?
At least 3.
Okay, we'll do it 3 times. Trinitarians here. 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna spin it. Okay. Whoever it lands on, you have won yourself the bald, bearded, and biblical hoodie. You're gonna have to email me your address. Email me at info@apologiacenter.com. and also the size in which you want. Okay, 1, 2, 3, spin. Righteous. Haraj, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Congratulations to Righteous through Christ for being our winner, ladies and gentlemen. Very big congratulations, Emo, to Righteous. And I'm going to write this down. I expect an email from you, info@apologiacenter.com. Into Pat's mind, I want a hoodie as well, he says. I'll put you in for the next drawing when Pisabi comes on. Hey,
Okay, so we do the second one.
I'm going to do it, at 1:30 when he comes on. So, Khachik, thank you guys for the sponsor of today's shirt giveaway, which is Khachik the Merchant, one of our channel members. So, Righteous, you have won the shirt. By the way, this is very interesting because Righteous Through Christ gifted channel memberships a couple of weeks ago. And one of the people that won the channel membership, and YouTube picks this randomly when you give channel memberships, one of the people that won the channel membership was Khachik. And today Khachik is giving away a sweater, and Righteous Through Christ won it. That is very biblical. Give, and it shall be given to you. I'm going to turn into a prosperity preacher right now. Give. So we've done one spin. We have 2 more spins because Khachik has sponsored 2, and then Pastor David said he'll sponsor 1. Hey, look at Pisabi. Hey, I'm reading into this, Pisabi. You're going to come on. I'm going to ask you about this. He said, vow, congrats, Righteous Through, and he didn't say Christ. You think there might be a certain kind of influence here? You would know better because you know these Iranians better than me.
Righteous Through ALLAH, or
no, he just didn't say Christ. Like he didn't want to say Christ.
Right on.
Yeah. No, you don't have to put your name on again. We'll just delete Righteous. But if you want to add your name, you can. Just let me know. We'll add your name.
So, Sad, are you trying to enter into a master's program or something?
Pat, you can't just randomly be saying names.
Joel Asadurian.
Are you asking Saad if he wants to go to graduate school?
Yeah, because if it's not for the name and if it's not for to have that degree, then I would say like EBC would be phenomenal to take like courses here and there.
Yeah, because it's all online now, right?
Yeah, but it's just the amount of homework and the education they give is just it was really good. It was really good to like understand the text. Emil, when are you graduating with your master's? So I started Fuller summer, and I'll be graduating in spring of next year. So I don't have much left. I think I have 9 classes left to take.
Okay, so guys, Emil, sorry, I'm going to cut you off here.
Yeah.
So the shirt that is being raffled away, or not the shirt, the hoodie, is this hoodie. Now it comes in these colors. Oh, by the way, tell me a size and a color as well, Righteous. So there's the red, there's the orange, which is the one I have. I love it. By the way, it does not look like this orange. It's more like a highlighter orange. That's why it says safety orange up here. So it's kind of like it's a very vibrant orange. There's the green and there's the gray. Okay. So, and then just make sure you go and look at the sizes in regards to what size you have. I wear the large. So this is the merch we have so far, as you can tell, but this is the one that's being raffled away. And we just added, the back of the hoodie has the Apologia Center logo on it. There you go. That says Veritas Communitas Virtus, right, on it. And then we have the mug as well. If you're interested in getting the mug, you can. And then we also have the tee. This is a slim fit tee. And then that comes in different colors as well. I'll probably end up getting the red one for myself. So, this is the gold one. This is different than the orange one. This is a gold shirt. And we got phone cases and mugs and stuff like that. Okie dokie. So that's what's being given away, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to enter your name in there, go for it. Ramadan Mubarak says this guy is still live. Ramadan Mubarak, we're gonna be live till like 4 or 5. It's insane. We got guests coming in every 30 minutes, man. We're celebrating. What you know about this? Hey, you've been to England. You've been to England. Are British people all flimsy?
Dude, that's a very good. Why are you saying that?
Huh?
Why are you saying? Why are you asking that?
Because I actually pay attention to British culture.
Yeah, I would say they are flimsy. I didn't notice it until you brought it up. Like now that I thought about it, I was like, yeah, they're pretty flimsy. Jason Abnos, EBC's Eternity Bible College. Sad, I don't know why he would shoot you. It was honestly a very good school. There was like honestly maybe 1 or 2 classes out of 4 years where.
Jason, who's Jason?
He's talking about a friend of ours that went to EBC, and he complained to me a lot about EBC at the time. And I was like, dude, why are you like? It's like literally 1 or 2 classes.
I think he's gotten over it. I doubt it.
Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, I saw there was like only 1 class, Romans and Galatians. It was put together, Saad, where just Jason didn't like the approach. I think he preferred a non-anti-right like development for the study. So
okay, so what? You don't have to agree with anti-right. Anti-right sometimes is wrong. It's anti-wrong.
How did did it turn apostates? I don't know. Like there was one.
Wait, what?
One.
Sorry, what are you reading?
Saad saying how many apostates did it turn out? I would say 1.
Wait, where are you reading this?
On live chat.
How many apostates did what turn out?
I'm guessing EBC, like how many did it
Dude,
produce?
let me tell you something. Biola, Life, EBC, any kind of school you think about. There's lots of people I went to school with. Masters, I don't care. You think people haven't gone to masters and come out unbelievers? Or whether they were believers in the first place or whatever like that. This is just the reality of it. Some people think that when they're not introduced to information and then they get introduced to the information, they realize that this isn't for me. And however we want to break that down theologically and parse it, that's different. But every single school you're going to get this too. I would never put that on the school unless the school was outright trying to go against the basics of biblical understanding and stuff like that. To say that they turned people out like that.
I mean, look, I was a student there, but you were also a teacher there. Wouldn't you say it's a very safe, pretty conservative school? I mean, my time there, I was so like blessed. I was like, this is great for me.
Yeah, I taught a couple of semesters there. I think I taught 2-3 semesters there. And I mean, I didn't hold back. You got conservative content. We, theologically, again, speaking here. And then you got all the challenges in all the areas that you're supposed to challenge in. Now, I was teaching classes that had to do with, like Peter's epistles. I was teaching classes that had to do with New Testament survey, and also the Gospels and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's very normal. Like it was, there's no, like literally this is what every class looks like, Saad. You go through a survey book. Like let's say you're taking Matthew, right? You go through the survey book of Matthew. You have a commentary on Matthew you go through. There's a list of questions that you have to answer. You go through it pretty much exegetically. You have to answer it in paragraph form. You know, what's chapter 1 about? What's the genealogy's purpose? How does it relate to chapter 2? It's a really safe, I guess I'll just say conservative, very safe and conservative school.
Dude,
very honestly.
Sorry, on this, I'll answer this because I've had to sign this as a professor. Tom, there is a statement of faith you have to sign. As a matter of fact, there's a statement of faith of certain theological positions you have to sign. And one of them, like I actually signed the statement of faith, and under one of the points theologically, I had to put like a little asterisk next to it and then explain it. Like, hey, is this a problem? Can I not be employed here because of this? No, every single one of them have to confess faith in Christ. There are no openly unbelieving professors.
Mm-hmm.
No way. I mean, so someone could always lie, right? Somebody always can say, yeah, I'm a believer, but they're not actually believers and stuff. But
Yeah.
what is that noise behind you? Is that honking?
No.
Is that Armenians having a wedding or something?
My wife was watching something, probably
Oh,
lowering.
I thought it was like it was about to get like down, like
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So Sad, I honestly I think you would like it because they want to be very as rigorous as they can be, and some of the homework that they would give was very difficult because it wasn't just like you read it like for the first week you read the commentary on Matthew 1 and you read the introduction of the survey and stuff. The questions that you had to answer were in multiple paragraph form, and there was like 20 questions, like why, what was chapter 1 about, and you have to write like 2-3 paragraphs on it. And then the next question is, what's the significance of him mentioning Abraham? What's the significance of David? What's the significance of the exile in chapter 1 of Matthew? And you have to answer these in paragraph form, at least 2 paragraphs from what I remember, and you have to use the verses and make sure it's very concise. It has to be like pretty much the perfect answer you can give scripturally and very based on the book. It's very rigorous, and you come out learning so much about the text. I think you would honestly like it a lot. If you go to Fuller, I honestly think you would have a poor experience there, not because you don't know biblical studies, but I think you have a poor experience there because you're going to be like, bro, I spent so much money and half the things I'm learning is about the critique of it, and it's just very different. It's like, oh, I'm learning about what Baltman has to say about this. Like you're going to
Yeah.
say, who cares about this? Like you'll pull out your hair, you'll be like, I don't want to be a researcher on Matthew. I want to understand Matthew, and if you want to understand it, I think you would pull your hair out. Well, you'll pull your beard out. You'll pull your beard out if you went to Fuller, because you're like, this is not what I want.
He straight up was like, pull your hair out. Hey man, you're speaking from a place of privilege, Emil. You got that nice hair of head of hair right there, and he's like, you pull your hair out. You pull your hair out, and then he realized Saad is like me.
Yeah, he has a big beard though. Hey, it's 1:30. You want Pasibi to come on?
Yes,
yes.
We will. Do women teach there? Pisabi,
No,
not Pasibi. Pisabi says, are there female teachers at EBC?
There, I just to make one last answer before I get off. No women teach there, and almost every teacher that teaches there graduated with their masters from master's seminary, but they're not master's seminarian people. Like they kind of took the reform perspective and then they calmed down on the things that they didn't need to calm down on. But yeah, I mean, Saad, I'm doing a master's program in theology with emphasis in biblical studies, and I'm still not getting what I experienced at EBC, which I'm fine with that, because when you get your master's, you're kind of learning how to do research. It's developing you to become a researcher to enter into the PhD field. So I still don't think, again, it's just my opinion, that you're going to get what you personally wanted to get out of it. And I think EBC or other schools will give you that, and you'll be really, really blessed. I think you'll be excited to go venture into this area. Love you too, David. Love you. Guys, I gotta get off because I want Pisabi upon him.
Dude, there's gonna be a riot. If we don't get him on right now, I feel like the chat's gonna go nuts.
Yeah.
We got 29 people in the chat. CMO. Pisabi, you have the contact info. Feel free to call in, and we'll have you on. Ladies and gentlemen, please. Feel free to sign up for the where is it? The drawing for the hoodies. Okay, so this hoodie we've given away one already. We're gonna give away second one. So if you want your name to be put into this, please type the number 1. We're gonna do this 2 more times when Pisabi is with us. So if you want the hoodie and you want your name entered into the drawing for the hoodie, let me know your name, and we will put it in there. Oh, Pisabi has called in, ladies and gentlemen. آقای پیسابی حال شما چطوری؟
Hello, how are you? I have something for you.
Wow. Wow. Thank you.
Okay, I turn the stupid music off. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. How are you?
I'm good.
Very
How are you
nice.
doing?
Very nice. You know, I think after I come to your YouTube channel a couple days ago, I'm getting very popular.
You are. People
So
want
many
to...
people, so many people just contacting me on MySpace and saying to me, "Wow, this is very good content you're creating."
So some people earlier on were saying that they would actually, if we had Aghay Pisabi merchandise, that they would buy it.
I would loving this one. I will loving it. Can you put my face? You can maybe say something like middle comb, zebra glasses, and very nice jacket.
Yeah, I like your style, by the way. I really enjoy your style.
By the way, I am eating cuckoo right now. I don't know
You
if
are
know
not eating cuckoo.
I am eating cuckoo. We usually having the Christian, Armenian usually having this for the Easter.
Yes.
But we Iranians, every time we have an excuse to have the cuckoo, we eating it.
So is it like a breakfast dish? Is it a lunch,
You know
dinner?
what?
What is it?
It's whatever dish you want it to be. I like to eat it with goldfish. It's very good mixture. Actually, I like to put the goldfish in here, like this, and then just like Jesus, I say, "My God, more goldfish," and then I like to eat this for lunch or dinner, whatever.
Wow. There's some questions. Is that light in your glasses, or is that?
Oh, what is this? Oh my goodness! Maybe I'm spitting in there. But you know, as a Persian, it's okay when
It
you
might
have
be.
a.
It might be some of the gel from your hair that went on there.
Oh yeah, no, actually, I use a hairspray today. Is the number one thing. But you know, it's okay because when this is happening, you just all you have to do is in the Persian household we have multiple one of them, so you just switching into the other one.
That's amazing.
I don't like this one. It's a little too professional, so I'm gonna put in this one back.
That's a nice one. That one matches you more.
Thank you very nice.
So we want to give a. Can we say a great thank you to our very good friend Grigor for giving us a $5 super chat.
Okay. Wow,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
what
much.
is- can you tell me what is the super chat? Where does this? This just go straight into your pocket, or it goes to something else?
So it doesn't go straight into my pocket. It's a digital form of payment, and YouTube charges. So whenever you send money on super chats, YouTube takes a percentage, and then they give the rest of the percentage. They send it my way on a monthly basis.
Stupid YouTube. This is what they do. I hope, to be honest with you, I don't want anybody to give you super chat, but
But you gave me a super chat the other day for $72.
this was accident. I didn't want to do it. I just click a few button. It goes PayPal.com. Boom. Shoot.
Oh,
sends it to
okay.
you.
Well, should I
But
send the
you know
money
what? I
back?
want to say this to you. If the Christianity is the real, which I don't believe is 1%,
Wow.
then I challenge all the super chats to come in. If the Christianity is real, then I should see maybe Saad the traitor, because he's.
Why is he a traitor?
Because well, what is? How can your name be the Saad and you do these things? I don't understand this.
Oh, are you saying because his name is Saad, it's an Arabic name, and he's a Christian? He's a
course.
traitor.
Of course, first when I sing the Saad, I said, "My God, maybe I have a brother here. I can talk to. We can make fun of the apologetic." And then all of a sudden, he's asking question about Jesus and all these things. I said, "My God, your family must be ashamed in you since you are now believing in the
Well,
Isa Masih."
his family is Christians as well.
Oh my goodness! Oh, I need to change glasses. This is not gonna work. Okay.
All right, Pisabi, what do you look? Most people that are your age and they're from Iran. They actually are very much against Islam because of what the Ayatollahs, what Ayatollah Khomeini and Khamenei and these sorts of individuals have done in Iran. Usually, your age folks have escaped Iran. And they are either atheists, some of them have become Christians. Iranian Christians, there's a lot of Iranian Christians in the world.
No, we don't have Iranian Christian, and we don't have other thing, which is the I don't want to say word.
Atheists?
No, the other one. I'm not gonna say it because look at this.
Oh.
There is a super shot voice. He's saying it Takbir Allah Akbar. Takbir Allah Akbar.
Takbir. Look at that. He shot back at you with a super chat.
Yeah, in Iran we don't have the Christian or the GSP.
Oh, Jewish, you mean? That's not true.
No. I love the Jewish. Don't say. Oh my goodness, I'm going. No. I'm meaning the LTV.
LGTV. LGTV.
Yes, this one. We don't have.
By the way, I got to give credit to Ruslan, who was on earlier, for coining the term LGTV.
What is going on here?
So we got our very good friend TK, who shot back with the 1999 super chat. Hey,
Okay.
Jesus.
One more.
Hang on, he said Jesus is not Prophet Abu Pisabi. I call him Aghai Pisabi, not Abu Pisabi.
This is garbage thing happening right now with all the super chatting coming in.
He says the Afghanis speak a more pure Farsi than you. I've heard this before.
This is not one. This is 100% fake. Afghani. Yeah. Okay.
They speak a pure form of Farsi.
Yeah, this is stupid comment.
My wife speaks Farsi. She's going to be on later on. We're going to have a conversation,
Okay,
and
listen,
I'll ask her this question.
apologetic. Are you
By
there?
the way,
Can you-
before anything, our own Carl super chat, he said Christianity is true.
This is stupid.
So you put out a challenge out there, and everybody called you your bluff.
Oh my goodness, this is happening. Why? Okay, so I have something to tell you now. I have to. Can you hear me still?
Do you want to do a drawing with me before? Do you want to do the drawing for the T-shirt? That
Yeah,
the sweater.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, let's do draw.
So
What are we
let's.
drawing? A house? I can draw a nice house. Dog. I can
Alright,
draw a very nice dog.
it's not that kind of a drawing, Alright, Pisabi.
What drawing is?
So
we're
we're
not
gonna
drawing
spin
the
this.
prophet, are we?
No, we're not drawing the prophet. We don't want to get in trouble.
Because I don't want any
Okay.
problem. Last time somebody did that, you know what is the thing happened?
Big problem, right? In France, they try to drum. So, so I think we've put everyone's name in there. Does anybody else want us to add them? Your name is in there. Encouraged Faith. Ashley, you're in there. By the way, Jailani says that according to the former president of your country, Iran, Muhammad, his name was Muhammad, right? Ahmadinejad? Was his first name Muhammad or no?
This was Chapel president.
Yes.
Chapel,
He said that there are no LGTV people in Iran.
Yeah, this is 100% truth. 100%. No LGTB people.
Okay. How do we get in the drawing? Arnold, we just add you in there. You just tell us and we all add you in there.
Oh, who is a
Arnold.
Kokoshi? Kokoshi standing one.
Oh, another super chat
Oh,
by
goodness. Baladar.
You've been called out. All right, Pisabi, it's not happening for you so well.
This is not good right now. I don't know what to do. But you know what? You
Oh
are losing your
wow,
money.
wow! There's
You are
Ashken,
losing. Send it.
Ashken,
Keep sending it to all the
Emil,
Christians with their money. Keep sending it.
Harach.
Keep sending it to all the Christians. You're losing your money. I don't care. 1%.
Why are you so angry?
I don't care. Let them. You want in losing your money, lose it. I don't care. But this is still stupid things.
Well, they're not losing their money. They're investing it into my ministry, in which we're proclaiming the
care what
gospel,
invest on
and we're
me.
preaching the gospel for people to become Christians. Maybe one of these days you become a Christian. All
Do
right,
what you want
Pisabi.
to do. I don't care. I don't care about Henry Mashafokian. I don't care about Emilia Haruti. I don't care about, how do you say this name? Ashkani, Sagusi. I
It's-
don't care. Keep sending your money and using it. I don't give a crapping.
Wow, he's angry. So we got, okay, guys. Is the hoodie an Egyptian cartoon? It is not an Egyptian cartoon. The hoodie is. We're staying away from that stuff. We're gonna. How many times should we shuffle these names before we spin it? All right, Pisabi.
72 times.
I can't do it 72 times. You really
Come
like that
on.
number. I
Why
shouldn't
you
have.
scared?
Man,
Why
I
you
had
scared?
that one coming.
72.
I had that one coming. I'm not gonna sit and click 72 times. How about we do it 7 times?
Okay.
Hey, by the way, Arai Pisabi, Peter Wesson just sent us a super chat.
Peter Webster. Wow, who's Peter Webster?
Well, he sent it. He called out your challenge.
Okay, wow. This is not working out very good for me. Apologetic.
You're losing. Should we spin it? So we shuffle it 7 times and then spin it?
I think this is what we should do. I think we should spin, and then whoever is land on, we erase, and then the last person is landing on is the winner. This is how we did it in Iran.
Okay,
We
so
throw rocks in the air,
Yeah.
and we just stand there, and then everybody gets the rock hit on their head, is lose the game, and then the one standing at the end with the rock coming and not hitting him is the winner.
that was an actual game in Iran.
Yeah, 100%.
That sounds very dangerous.
Number 1 game ever. And
Um,
then after we are doing this, I have a poem I wrote to you. I want to read. If I can read a poem.
you wrote a poem for me.
Yes, I
is
wrote
it-
it. This is not.
is it in
the
Farsi?
brain. I writing this down, and I just want to read it to you and your audience.
Okay, we'll do that. But this time we'll shuffle it 7 times and spin it. For the third giveaway, we'll do what you're saying.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay, so let's shuffle it. Harut, your name is in here. Bra, Sloop 46, what's up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is a very biblical number, Pisabi.
I don't.
And we're going to spin it. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Righteous Through Christ was our first winner. And here we come. Here we go. Yes. SDM is our winner, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations.
Yeah, what does this mean?
Well, this is their screen name. It's not an actual
Okay.
name. All right.
Very nice. Yes, yeah. Sounds like a disease. Sounding like a virus.
You mean a virus?
Yes, I have. Today I went to doctor. I have SDM. Okay, sorry. Congratulations on your.
So congratulations, SDM. Make sure you email me at info@apologiacenter.com with the size of the hoodie and also your address so we can ship that to you. Okay. You have a poem you want to read for us?
Of course.
How about we do this? You read your poem, and then we're gonna have people write in questions to you, maybe about Islam, and we can have a dialogue about Christianity and Islam.
Yeah, that's 100% okay.
Jacoy, how you doing? Okay, all right, Pisabi, go ahead. You have the floor for the poem that you have written.
Okay, I'm reading poem. Are you listening? Don't distracting me, because see, I am not very good at the English. So if you saying things in between and distracting me, I lose the place and then partout, everything is gone.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute myself so I don't distract you.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you put some music in the background?
Let me see
Can
if
you put
I.
some maybe a slow classic guitar?
I don't have anything that's. Let me see. I might.
Okay, I don't care. I read it.
Just
anyway.
wait. No, I want to honor you. You've
Okay.
called in. You've written a poem, so I'm sure we can find classic. How about we put classic guitar by Armik?
Oh, that's okay with me.
You like Armik?
Armik is okay. I like that. This my aunt's name is Armik.
Armik, the Iranian, Armenian Iranian guitar player.
Yeah, #1 guitar player.
Very good guitar player. All of the weddings I go to has Armik's
You know,
music.
Armik was the Shah's personal guitar player every morning. So when the Shah would wake up in the morning, Armik was in the hallway playing for him. Very good guitar.
Why is it that I keep hearing people from Iran say that they had some kind of a job with the Shah?
Yeah, I don't know. It's very stupid. Very stupid. Everyone thinks they have it, but you know, my dad, he was driver, and he actually picked up the Shah's kids, took him to school, and once a week he would wave to the Shah from the balcony. So other stories are very stupid, but my story is 100%.
I understand. By the way, just again, a reminder that our very good friend Lyoksh sent in a $20 super chat.
Shame on you too. Shame on you too and your bank account. I don't care.
Well, you know. So, okay, let's see. We'll put Lost in Paradise. I got to make sure the audio is really good so it's not too interrupting. Okay, we got the guitar going in the background.
Okay, make sure it's very slow. We don't want too much.
Before you go, my very good friend Tom Kachaduri just gave $25 in super chat. R.I.P.
Fuck
Sabi.
to Sarah Tom Kachaduri. Fuck to Sarah Tom Kachaduri. Who is this guy?
Was
He's
that some
trying
kind
to
of
look like me in some of that picture. Oh, nice beard. But I have to say, very, very nice beard. I mean, everything else I hope is bad for you, but your beard is very nice.
He's a good guy. Okay,
Okay,
R.I.P.
I'm going to
Sabi.
read my
I'm going to
poem.
mute myself. You read your poem.
Okay. Apologia Center, I wrote this for you actually last night, and I said, my God, you know, even though we are not perfect friends, but you know, I respecting you enough to write something for you. So here we are go. Ready? Can you hear me? Testing? Testing, okay. One more time, testing, okay. Here we go, we are starting. Mr. Apologetic, how are you? I am very excited to speak to you. Thank you very nice for unblocking me. Maybe you can make me moderator and fire pity. I like your beard, but I feel bad for you because you can't do the middle comb like the Persians do. I remember when Shah of Iran was overthrown, I said, my God, I don't believe it, like Jerome. I used to have so much money my wife couldn't leave me. Now when I want a barbari, I have to sell my kidney. I think at first we got off on the wrong foot. But from now on we can be sweet like Persian tooth. Thank you for making me one of your 4,000 subscriber callers. But don't make me charge you $72. Thanks to you, next time I meet atheists, I will have proof. Then I will drive away happy with my Mercedes-Benz 2007 S550 black on black with heated seats and panoramic sunroof. That is the end. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to give it up to R.I.P. Sabi.
Thank you.
Wow, amazing. You deserve all the claps.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate the fact that you wrote that, and what I love about that is that you included within that poem individuals from our own chat, like one of our very good moderators, PT,
Yes, of course, PT.
and our very good atheist friend, Jerome. You said, "I don't believe it," like Jerome. I like that.
I don't.
That's
I said, my
you
God,
might
I don't believe it, like Jerome.
you might think about getting into battle rap. I think you'll do a pretty good job.
Oh, I can rap at this for you too. Mr. Apologia, how are you? I am very nice to speak to you. I can do this too, but maybe next time. When you hit 5,000, I come back and I rap one.
Oh wow, amazing! Look, people are loving this. People who are
I am
watching
loving.
this.
Honestly, I am loving this too. First, I was coming in here. I was gonna be a little punching a little bit, but I said to myself, "My God, this is nice guys. All these people sending him money. Maybe I can do this and get some money too." What do you think?
Hey, maybe you can. Maybe if everything grows and does really well, we can hire you and create a
No,
YouTube
it's
account.
okay. No, you don't have to give me 1 cent. I will do it all free, not 1 cent.
Chash.
I don't want money. I just want your friend.
You know what chash means, right? That's an Iranian phrase, chash.
Of course.
Yeah.
That means
ladies-
okay. Like
Yeah,
okay.
that means literally, ladies and gentlemen, it means on my eye. On my eye. Achki svara. We have in Armenian we have that saying too, on my eye. That means no problem. It will happen.
We have Persian saying on your head. Dirt on your head. So
Well,
when I think all the super chat coming, I say, my God, dirt on my head.
For
It is
what?
because I try to make your channel worse, but then everyone is sending in the money. So I said dirt on my head. So it's like a souk. It's like a it's like a morning.
Not in the
Not the
morning,
morning
like to
sun
mourn.
coming out. Yes, morn. MWOYR.
No, it's M. How did you spell it?
MWYRN. Mirror.
Mourn as in mourning when somebody's passed away. It's somber.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
we are
Hey,
mourning.
look at this. John Cash is in here. Maybe he can send in some cash.
It's not John Cash. It's John Clash.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm wearing wrong glasses. I see. John Kalash. Okay.
He said
Sorry.
John Cash is in here. Maybe he can send money.
I said, my God, I thought Johnny Cash is dead, but he's back.
Are you a fan of American music like Johnny Cash?
Yeah, sometimes I don't like George Bush, but most other singers I like. Johnny. I like Johnny Cash.
Mr. Pisabi, in Iran, you said that during the Shah's reign, you remember those were good days in Iran. Those were great days in Iran. Iran was a very Western country, and it was doing very well. Would you prefer the way the country was under the Shah, or the way the Ayatollahs are running the country right now?
No, you know what? This stupid GB Carter, we are doing very good. Everything is nice. We have the oil. We are doing this. We are Western. Women can showing their ankle at the beach. All these good things are happening. And then this Jimmy Carter is coming. This, I don't want to say the bad words, but
Yeah,
this guy's
please
coming
don't,
in.
because we're a Christian channel.
Yeah, of course, messing up the country, and then now we have the Ayatollah, a little fake guy is standing there. Oh, Zami, it's all fake. You know what I mean? So of course I want to go, but I want to go back to when I was young. I would go to Gugush concert. Now I have to drive all the way to Las Vegas. Who's gonna go Las Vegas? I live in, you know what I mean? So this is issue. So I want them to come back. I can go back to Gugush concert. I can maybe Andy Madadian, he's Armenian, good friend of mine. He actually used to sing for the Shah on every Saturday morning. But yes, I want this to go back to how it was, of course. I mean, who does not want this?
Can you tell me why so many Persian singers are actually so many singers in Farsi are actually Armenians? Like my one of my favorite ones is Vigen. Vigen is a legend. Yes.
I will sing this for you next time.
He's a legend.
Because
Andy, Vigen.
because you know what I say this because Armenian people, they are very talented in the music. So if you go to some of the if you go to the Armenia, you have a lot of classes teaching you clarinet, duduk, violin, pianist. There is a bunch of these Armenians are very talented in music, and so when a lot of Armenians get popular in the Iran, and then they become the very big singers. So you know what? I'm not Armenian, but I really think you are wonderful, talent people. And if I could ever come back with Buddha, if Buddha is right and I could come back again, I like to come back as Armenian.
Wow, that means a lot. By
Yeah.
the way, we have a super chat just came in from one of our moderators, Future. Thank you so much, Future. Who said, this is 1999 from Future, who says, congrats on the 4K, Arthur. Thank you very much, Future. And it says, and thanks, Aghay Pisabi, for helping us celebrate. And she wrote, Vink to you. Vink.
Okay, I like. You know what? I didn't want to help you, but us Persians, when we can take the credit, we take the credit. So you're all welcome for all the super chats today. Very nice job. I'm happy I could be part of this.
Thank you. So
Okay.
before we have our next guest come on, which is my wife,
Okay.
Aghay Pisabi.
You're allowing the woman to speak?
Am I allowing her to speak? Christianity
do?
allows for women to speak. Yes.
Oh, they allow this in the United States?
Yes.
Okay,
course.
okay. I didn't know this. I didn't read all of the YouTube policies, but okay. That's okay. I will just sign off and not watch. It's okay.
No. Can we do the other drawing the way you suggested it?
Of course. I can read the name if you want.
Okay. So let me pull that
I
up.
can see it here. I have double screen so I can see.
Just wait. So the way we're gonna do it is I'm gonna shuffle this 7 times, and then we're gonna spin it, and whoever name it lands on, we're gonna delete their name till there's one name left.
Okay.
Okay.
Just
So,
when you're spinning
1,
it, give it
2,
1 second.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because you're watching the replay. Is that what's up?
Yes, give it 1 second so I can see the spinning.
The first person to be eliminated, Aghay Pisabi, is a woman. This is a woman named Tatiana.
Oh, wow.
So you want?
That is very funny, Tatiana. What is his Russian name?
Yeah, but Tatiana is married to the guy you were complimenting, Tom. You said he looks like you.
Okay.
So it's Tatiana is the wife of Tomek, and you eliminated her.
Okay, I'm sorry for this. I mean, he has very nice beard, and I'm sure she's wonderful lady. But I mean, if you are bald and have a beard as a lady, maybe you have other problems you need to worry about.
This is true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next.
So next person.
We should play some music in the background.
Aghay Pisabi.
Hold on, I haven't seen yet. Hold on. He's spinning right now for me. We are a little ahead of the audience. Okay, spin, dingle, dingle, dingle. Let's see. And the elimination is. This is the work of Jimmy Carter.
You have eliminated yourself.
This is the work of the Jimmy Carter. See, this is truth because when I started talking to you about the Jimmy Carter, and then I thrown out of the raffle.
Yeah, that it might be true. So Aghay Pisabi. So I'm gonna shuffle it once and then spin it.
Okay.
Shuffle, spin.
Okay, it's spinning for me right now.
Yes. You've eliminated one of my good friends.
Oh no. Let's see, who is this?
This is one of the guys that sent a super chat.
Mr. Harut, I told you don't sending the money. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Okay, shuffle, spin. Mr. Pisabi, you have also eliminated someone else that sent a super chat.
Let's see it. This is so funny. You see that Allah is doing all of this. Whoever is sending the super chat to you is getting eliminated. So you lose your money and you lose a sweater. Who is this, Likish?
Lioksh.
Lioksh. What is French?
You should ask him what that name means.
What does
Okay,
Lioksh mean?
shuffle, and we got 12 more people in here.
Okay.
Spin. Wow.
Daryl, see you later.
It's not Daryl.
Oh, it's not. It's taking a long time. Yes.
You have eliminated another female.
Encourage faith. I
Yes.
have discouraged your faith. Get out of here.
Wow. I'm sorry, Ashley. Alright, Pisabi has no grace.
See you later. Encourage
she's
faith.
one of-
Your
she's one of
moderator
our mods.
too? Okay,
Yeah.
great. Don't block.
Well, you better behave yourself, or else she might block you one of these days.
I love Encourage Faith. Number 2 YouTube channel after Apologia Center.
Okay, thank you. People want music when we're playing this. They want the Persian music.
Okay, 100%.
So, okay,
Go ahead.
spin. Alright, Pisabi, you removed one of my very good friends who was on earlier celebrating with us.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know what? I like this guy. This is a very sad moment, but it's okay.
Okay.
You can
Hey,
buy one. When you get the master degree, you can use your money and buy one sweater.
we
Support the
can't
cause.
see you. The camera is pointing to the ceiling. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I was pointing to my Persian lion.
Oh, that's a nice lion. Okay, shuffle. 10 more people left.
Let's do it.
Oh! You almost got him. You almost got him. Somebody who you picked a fight with, you said he was a traitor, but you didn't. He survived. I'm very sorry
Oh,
for...
Saad.
Saad survived.
Oh, he's surviving. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see who's turning out. Dizelhiak.
Dillyhawk. Sorry.
Dizelhiak.
Dizellyhawk.
Dizelhiak, you can fly out of here. Fly like I'm making a joke like a hawk.
Yeah. That's
This
funny.
is the joke. Yeah, we say a lot of joke in Iran.
Here we go. Iranians are very happy and joking people.
Yeah, we are saying number 1 joke. So yeah, American joke is very stupid.
Really. Somebody else who sent in a super chat just got eliminated. You'll see it soon.
Don't ever send super chat again. Let's see. Spin, 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 spin. And looks like his car.
Yes.
Car is out of here. Drive away, Mr. Car.
It's Carl. There's an L at the end.
1 second. Okay, yeah. Mr. Carl, go away. Okay.
Okay. Another spin. Oh. This is someone who has ancestry in Iran as well. And you got him removed.
Was that who is the remove? Okay, spinning is spinning. I don't like these late things.
Yeah, but it's that's the way it is. Sorry, you don't have it live.
Hey, Ryan. Hey, Ryan, get out of here.
Right.
I have never seen
Okay.
hey, Ryan spelling like this.
Some people are still alive.
Let's do it. Spin.
Oh. So the person you got removed is a person who doesn't actually have any. He has lots of hair, so he's not bald. Daryl, I'm
Okay,
sorry,
that's
Daryl.
Who is Daryl?
Mm-hmm.
Who is Daryl?
Daryl also has a YouTube channel. He's a good friend. He's a Presbyterian.
Okay, Daryl, if you want me to come onto your YouTube channel, I charge $72, all tax, everything, good price included. Nothing
Wow.
more, nothing less.
Wow.
$72, Daryl. I will come on your channel and I will say, nobody give Daryl super chat and you become rich man like Apologia Center.
TK says to me, saying Apologia Center, bring on a real Muslim, not a Shiite. They're saying you're not a real Muslim.
Who is this TK?
Well, we're gonna
Why
shuffle
don't
and
you,
spin.
Mr. TK, why don't you be man and put your face like I did and then put your full name? I put you on Bing.com, I search you, and then we can meet each other and we can see who is real Muslim.
Oh wow.
Okay, next
Wow.
spin.
Okay, shuffle and spin. All right, Pizabi, you have eliminated another female.
Who is this saying I sounding like a Kim Jong-un?
You have eliminated another
Who
female.
did we eliminate? Female? Arnold?
Arnold is not a female.
Arnold is not female?
No.
Okay.
Ashken.
Ashken. Wow, this is okay. See you later.
Buck says you sound like Kim Jong the second.
I don't know who this is.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have 5 more people left. It's coming down to it. It's coming down to the wire. Jason has Iranian blood, by the way. You might want Jason to win.
Oh wow! Ha, I know Jason will win. Jason, la 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 la, let's win.
You have eliminated another bald person with a beard.
Who is this? Okay, Arnold, get out of here.
We got
Get
4
out of
people
here,
left.
Arnold.
We have 4 people left, and one of them is Saad.
Okay, so we have Saad.
He's challenging you.
Saad, if you are win a sweater, you need to come back to the Musliman.
Oh, Saad's gonna go out.
Don't kill the movie for us. We are watching here one live person. A spin. I'm guessing you're ruined. Did you like to ruin movies when you were a young man?
Yes. But
Okay,
hey, I should say, you said Saad, if you win, you come back to Musulman, and he lost because he doesn't want to be a Musulman.
We don't want you anyways. Don't stay. Now we have the Armenian color. We have blue, red, and orange.
Red, blue, orange, ladies and gentlemen. We have the tricolor left, the Armenian flag. It's meant to be.
Okay.
But I should say, Jason, who is Iranian, is still in the game. Could this be rigged?
I'm not going to conform or deny any of these things.
Okay. Spin.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Okay. Who is this H-Rush guy? Get him out of here. Don't give away. It's not spin yet. Come on, man. Okay, it's spinning now. 1, 2, 3. Into past mind. Get out of my mind. You're out of here. You're not getting sweater.
Okay, it's left between Haraj and Jason.
1 second. Give me 1 second, please.
Should I hit the...
Just 1 second. Okay, now you can hit it so Jason can win. And we can celebrate. To my half Persian brother with the blood, let's make sure he's win. 2 2 2 2 2.
Iran.
2 2 2 2 2. And the winner by random chances, of course. Isn't this guy the one that made the sweater?
No, the winner is Jason.
Oh, it's Jason!
All right, Pisabi, but you're probably going to be disappointed in something.
What?
Jason is also a Christian.
Jason is Iranian and a Christian?
Yeah,
Is this common thing happening?
it's happening.
Okay, what can I say? Maybe one day I become friends with all of these people and I can be Christian.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, we see, but I don't
Congratulations,
know.
Jason.
Congratulations, Jason, my half Iranian brother. I have you. Wish you the best. Wear a sweater everywhere. Wear it proudly. You're a good man, good Iranian man, and hopefully one day we have the Islamic Republic out of here. We have the Shah's son back in the office. We can all go to the mountains, have a very good time in Iran together, and wear the sweater there. Thank you very much for having me on the channel.
Thank you very
Should I
nice.
hang up?
Thank you very nice. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna click now.
Okay.
See you later.
Who doesn't love? R.I.P. Sabi. You know, he's right. We got off on the bad foot, on the wrong foot. He came at me sideways. He attacked me. He called me names and things of that sort. And then we had to block him because he was kind of stepping out of line. And then, but he got in touch with us. He said, "Hey, that's sorry." And we're becoming great friends. I think he's going to be calling in regularly to interact with us. We went a little bit longer than we anticipated with R.I.P. Sabi, but that was great. We've given away 3 shirts, ladies and gentlemen, and Righteous Through Christ, STM and Jason. Make sure that you guys send me an email, info@Apologia Center, info@apologiacenter.com, and send me your address. Send me the size and color that you want. I'm waiting for my wife to come, who has to leave at 2:30. So we're going to have her on for about 15 minutes. If you guys have any questions, you guys feel free to ask. You want to give me that chair? Huh?
Ask me.
Yeah, that's the idea is if they have questions, they can ask you. But I got to disconnect this. Okay. Do you want to take this chair? Can you turn that off?
What?
Just hit those 2 buttons.
It's on.
Yeah. I just realized it was on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh. We have the missus in the studio.
Hello.
We are celebrating are. Let's see if we've gotten any new subscribers. By the way,
I can't hear anyone.
what do you mean?
No one's talking?
Why would you hear them?
Oh, never mind. I had a blonde moment.
Whoa, that was she.
Or a black moment.
She said something about blonde people. Everybody, if you have questions, feel free to write in the questions. Hey, we hit 4,050. We got 2 more subscribers today.
Yay.
What do you think about your husband being stuck in office long hours of the day away from you?
It's not like I'm home or I'm available, so it's okay.
But sometimes you are home and I'm still in here,
Yes.
like Wednesday nights.
And Thursday nights. Thursday nights you're not there. You're not here. You're somewhere else.
Bible study. Jerome says that he has forgotten your name.
My name is Araz, A-R-A-Z. Or some people call me Araz.
No, we don't call her Araz. Her name is not Araz. It's Araz. It's Araz. Araz. Hello, Araz. It's Araz. It is a river that flows in the Caucasus Mountains. It is a, what's the word in English? You're an English teacher. What does that mean? True. It is a branch of the Euphrates River. It flows out from the Euphrates River. We just earlier had Arai Pisabi upon him on, who's become a very good friend, and he.
I missed it.
Yeah, he is. He's a character. He put Iranian music. We danced a little bit. You speak Farsi. Somebody in the chat said that it is the Afghanis that speak real Farsi, not the Iranians. And Agai Pisabi was like, this is not true.
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you otherwise because I don't know.
Okay.
But I would assume that Iranians are the ones that speak the actual Farsi.
Okay, question is this an arranged marriage? Mrs. is awfully pretty for you.
Technically, it is an arranged marriage, but it was a setup without us knowing.
It's not an arranged marriage.
It's not.
Yeah, trust me,
We
she
chose.
like really was like, you gotta prove yourself to me and stuff like that. How did you make me prove myself to you? What did I have to kill?
5 doves and a sheep.
We do not condone the killing of animals on this channel, unless it is for like you get it at a supermarket and
For
eat it.
marriage?
YouTube, please do not.
marriage?
YouTube, please do not ban us. Please don't take this channel away. We're celebrating. You gotta be careful what you say on the internet.
Okay, sorry. I am not trained. I will say whatever comes to mind.
Buck says that's my friend Ray's mom's name. Aras.
Oh.
Very nice. It's very interesting. Then we would conclude that Ray is Iranian Armenian
Why?
because Hayastansis don't name their daughters Aras.
I know Pars guys who have a guy Aras.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I had a.
Wow.
I will not disagree with him.
PETA has entered the chat. You don't have to atone for your sins anymore. Correct, but in marriage, you might have to, I'm not going to say it. It was an atoning. Okay, so she by the way, I was prettier than this. No? I had hair.
Yeah, but I think over the years
I
you've
had
gotten
beautiful
you've
locks.
gotten more handsome.
Hey, did you see that, Buck? Over the years, I've gotten more handsome.
Or maybe I've gotten older and my eyesight has changed.
I don't know if they heard you say that.
Do I say it again? Yeah. I said maybe over the years my eyesight has changed. I've gotten older. So
You do need to wear glasses. That's true. You refuse to wear glasses.
because it's not that bad. I'm fine.